Hello everyone, and welcome to the return of Legacy of the Rimlen. We took a bit of a break, my fault entirely. I was away for a while, but we're back, and we're ready to see where the adventure leads us once again. All the parties assembled. Hopefully, nothing too bad will happen for technical reasons as well that we'll get into a bit later. But anyway, before we get into all that, as usual, let's have the people who have once again joined on this adventure introduce themselves and their characters. I have rolled some dice, and the dice have determined that we're going in reverse alphabetical order today, meaning that I would ask Show&Tell first to introduce herself and her character. Show&Tell, could you please go ahead?
Yes, hi, I'm Show&Tell. I haven't done this in a long time. I'll be playing as Anghel, who's a mute peasant boy, and also fought. Was it a satyr?
Yep.
That he fought on the roof, and and fell off the roof, and I don't know. I mean, at least I guess Always Thirsty isn't dead.
Just impaled to the ground by an arrow.
Yeah, well, through that, like he's actually injured, or?
I mean, he's got a level 6 consequence, yeah.
Damn. Okay, I didn't remember that. But well, I don't know. We tried.
You intervened just in time, his fault for not knowing the secret signal, I guess. Anyway,
yeah.
Thank you very, very much, Show&Tell. Then, according to the dice, we would have Izvir. Izvir, could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Hey. Hi, I'm Izvir, or is virtually a goblin, and I'm playing as Miroslav, who is Lady Ophelia's carriage driver, and at the moment is holding Anghel in his arms as he caught him when he fell from the roof.
I think you were in the process of catching him, but yeah.
Or I might in a second have my arms full of Anghel. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you very, very much, Izvir. And then, of course, we would have Dely. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dely, and I am playing Muninn the Oracle. Does not want to be the Oracle anymore from the last session, because it's a tough job. But somebody's got to do it. Just not me.
Does somebody have to do it?
I don't know. But it's no easy it's like no easy feat to quit, is it? So got a long journey ahead, I guess. Yeah. If it ever happens.
Yeah. Get that entirely. Thank you very, very much, Dely. Now, dear viewers, couple things before we go into our usual shtick. First and foremost, Roll20 is very, very buggy today, so instead you'll be treated to this sort of stock photo of just like the important people who will participate, probably. Well, I guess you never know in the session. If you're curious how Roll20 looks at the moment, I can show you, dear viewers. It looks like this, with lots of tokens missing and some of the tokens that are on screen very, very blurry. So, fortunately, dice rolls work, as do like consequences and such. But hopefully there won't be too many consequences today. And dice rolls, I can show them irrespective of this little stock photo. Second thing, before we get into the session, is I am going to, as usual, showcase this lovely artwork that Izvir drew, that we used as thumbnail for the previous episode, of Acacius being big mad at Muninn. Because, that's certainly a novelty. So, as usual, before we begin the session, let's dive into what happened the previous time. Basically, we resumed with the confrontation between Muninn, Miroslav, and the nun. Muninn, in their attempts to escape the nun, gave Miroslav an opportunity to flee, and then Muninn continued arguing with the nun, sort of testing the limits of Acacius's control and pleading to her. In the end, Muninn managed to sneak out, like utter a prayer to the free, which made Acacius very, very angry, made the deity take control of Muninn's body, which was not a pleasant experience, and Acacius and Muninn's body stabbed the nun, ran away at blinding speeds, all the while arguing with Muninn, who was very, very much in pain. Meanwhile, Miroslav made his way back to the estate sort of without incident alongside Basil, but a person who did have some incidents was Anghel, who was, because of the earlier compels that he had to carve wood, was busy vandalizing a certain homeowner's beloved cherry tree, which got him into a bit of trouble, but nothing too bad. And in the end, I'm stumbling over my words. It's been a while. Anghel got to carve his. I forgot what you carved. It was something very lovely as usual, I'm sure, but I forgot entirely.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anghel got to release his stress in the shadow of an impaled person, as you do, while always firstly went off into the market to buy to refresh his stock of drinks. And just as Miroslav returned to the estate, well, was about to, and came across Anghel, so did Muninn in Acacius and Muninn's body run into the scene. Acacius relinquished control over Muninn, and Muninn collapsed on the floor. The group and then Basil carried Muninn's unconscious form to the estate, gave a secret signal to what was later revealed to be the guardian of the estate that they could pass. Met with Nicephor Zarhos, who told Miroslav that it would be a lovely idea for Ophelia Zarhos to join this little banquet party thing, and also inquired, hey, what was the thing that Ophelia asked you to buy? Was it honey by chance? And Miroslav successfully deceived Zarhos that no, it was a bunch of fruit. I forgot which fruit. It was some lovely August fruit. That
Peaches, maybe?
It was peaches.
Peaches, lovely. Noted. Remind me, Izvir, you delivered said peaches to Ophelia as well, or?
I don't know why anymore, but I.
You did drop them. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I dropped them, and I didn't deliver them to Ophelia. And Zarhus said that Lady Ophelia can just have some fruit at the banquet, and I told Lady Ophelia that I used the fruit as a cover story.
Good thinking. Thank you, Izvir, for the reminder as well. You have a very good memory. So,
Sometimes.
So Miroslav then left to retrieve Ophelia. Other than what Izvir already reminded us of what happened, I should mention that Miroslav did see on their way there a bunch more impaled people by the soldiers. So it's clearly not a one-off phenomenon. And they were also greeted by Ribob doing the one meme where, you know the meme where someone shows up behind a guy with a gun and all that. That happened. Ribob took Miroslav to Ophelia. They talked, and Miroslav was kindly asked by Ophelia, hey, don't mention Ribob or the passenger in the carriage.
Nope. You went back on that because first Ophelia said that it was fine to say that Ribob is back.
All right, my bad.
However, I am not allowed to, or she asked me not to mention the other person in the carriage.
You are entirely correct. My bad about that. Miroslav is now Ophelia's escort to this little banquet. Not Ribab or Hakim, her typical bodyguards. They, on that note, were told to stay behind. Meanwhile, Muninn woke up in their room in the estate, tried to, I don't know the YouTube-friendly version of saying that, tried to use a knife on the wrong person, let's say, I guess, and failed immediately because they didn't have a knife on them, and then spent the rest of the time reading two of the letters that they had previously retrieved. The other one of the soldier letters and the letter that they took from Piroshka's dead body. Or well, Anghel took and then passed on to Muninn. Anyway, meanwhile, Anghel wandered out of his room, smelled the food downstairs, and heard the heavy footsteps of the guardian of the estate on the roof. Just as the guardian was preparing to shoot at someone who didn't know the signals, and as we sort of hinted at in the introduction portion, that certain person was always thirsty, who got an arrow through him so badly that he's now impaled to the ground at the moment. Anyway, without necessarily knowing that it was always thirsty, Anghel jumped into action and fought the satyr, because it's bad to fight someone for... to not fight someone, to shoot at someone just for trespassing, I guess. They fought. Muninn and Miroslav noticed this. Miroslav just as they came in with Lady Ophelia, and while Lady Ophelia just casually entered the estate after Muninn and Miroslav left to get Nikephorus Zarhos to calm the satyr down. Nikephorus gave the signal that everything's alright, so the satyr was about to stand down, but sort of out of spite still kicked Anghel off the roof. Well, more like stamped on his fingers as he was clinging onto the roof. Anyway, and that's more or less where we return to the scene, as we're about to determine, first things first, as I go and turn on the background music, we're about to determine, because Miroslav was just in the way of Anghel falling, if said fall is successfully taken. I'm not even sure how to say that. Anyway.
If I can catch him.
Yeah, pretty much. I was being unnecessarily poetic, I guess. So, Miroslav, you see the giant, and from your perspective at least, form of Anghel falling from the roof, sort of right on top of you, so to say. What's your approach?
Wait, he's falling legs first, since he was holding on to the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not a big fall. It probably won't be lethal if you don't catch him, but still.
I would still try to catch him, I think.
Okay. Sounds careful or forceful?
Careful.
I see it.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I used up my good careful earlier.
You did. Are we leaving it at that?
Who's the one who's going to get hurt?
None of you
probably.
will be. Yeah, none of you will be damaged, like in terms of game mechanics. But there might be sort of narrative consequences. It will. With that roll, it will be Miroslav who is damaged. If Miroslav would have like failed, like got like say a 0 or a -1, both of you would have been really hurt.
Okay.
I think that's it. I don't think I will add any additional things.
What do you have on you, Miroslav?
Well, I have the pouch with the money that Lady Ophelia gave me before we came here. And I have my, like, the thing where I have my knives and stuff inside.
Okay. I don't necessarily detect anything breakable, so the damage will be sort of to you, so to say.
Yeah.
Anghel, from your perspective, the satyr kicks you off after like you consider the fight in terms of game mechanics and realized, yeah, you should really let the satyr do his job, I guess. Though with the caveat that you might discourage him later, because shooting at trespassers, like just for trespassing, is a bit of an overreaction. But that's for another time. As you fall, yeah, something cushions your fall, definitely, and you, at the very least, are uninjured. Meanwhile, Miroslav, you prepare yourself to catch the gigantic form of Anghel, thinking, yeah, this will be simple. This will be in the chivalric novels that someone of your possible backstory maybe read in the past or whatever. You feel inspired, but then you realize, oh crap, he's really big. Oh, he's really big. And just as it dawns on you, he slams you into the ground. What should be the ouchie? What do you think? I think you didn't roll like a completely disastrous roll, so I'm not gonna like break your bones or anything like that. But I think it's enough to knock the wind out of you for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Have in real life have you ever had like the wind knocked out of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Yeah, no. Would not recommend.
So, Anghel, as you think, oh, that was a soft landing, you hear someone gasping for breath underneath you.
I mean, other than I'm assuming, what did the satyr stomp on? Like the fingers?
Yeah.
I guess other than that, is Anghel hurt?
He didn't stamp
I mean,
on
we do
them
have
with
this.
he didn't stamp on your hands with the intention of like breaking them, just with the intention of getting you off. So more like kick them, I guess, than stamp them.
Okay. I mean, they hurt them probably.
Yeah. He has hooves, so yeah.
But I mean, overall, Anghel is. I mean, we still have the 6 level consequence. So I'm just like trying to remember what kind of condition Anghel's in.
The 6th consequence was from the encounter at the other estate. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's something. It's like sort of an injury. That has been nagging you for a while, not something recent, let's say.
Yeah. And he's also winded. Okay. I guess overall, Anghel can probably scramble up pretty fast, I'm assuming. Like, if he heard someone under him, I'm assuming he would try to get out.
You see a very much in pain Miroslav.
Wait, I forgot. Does Miroslav know? Can communicate? Can they communicate in like Anghel's?
We started communicating with each other at the beginning of this day.
Okay.
So
very basic lessons at most.
Well, I'm assuming that sorry is like something pretty universal. You can get across.
I think so.
You don't have a language for that. So Anghel.
I don't know why, but I just imagined like the impaled always first being like, he's saying sorry.
If he could see you, he would say that. But he's a bit downslope, so he cannot quite see that.
That's too bad. Oh well, so Anghel tries to convey his sorriness, I guess, and reaches out a hand.
Yeah, Miroslav would like reach for the hand and let Anghel help him up.
Still gasping for breath very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anghel kind of, I want to say thumps him on the back or something. I guess, yeah.
He would cough to that.
I don't think
You're
that
good.
would
You're
help.
good.
I don't think that would help, but sure.
But he would be like, it's okay, it's okay. And maybe you should help Always Thirsty. He seemed
Yeah.
kinda impaled to the ground.
For sure. Yeah, Anghel is like, reminded and I guess walks off.
Deli, on that note, feel free to have Muninn come onto the scene whenever you want, because you are nearby.
Okay. I guess I would do so.
You are like just behind the building because you were talking to Nikephorus about getting the satyr to stand down.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I guess I missed that whole display of Anghel falling on Miroslav.
You do
So
see a very
I
winded
would walk
Miroslav,
in.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Miroslav is like leaning a bit against the wall, like with the hand, keeping him steady.
And just as you're desperately trying to draw in air, you draw in, that's something's rotting away. And stinks of alcohol too.
Ah,
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
Muninn would say, "What's wrong with you?" If they're like close enough.
I forgot how much bigger Anghel is than me. I tried to catch him.
If I could laugh at that, I would.
You are allowed to,
But-
if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
How generous.
Muninn would Muninn would probably laugh, but not like belly laugh. They would probably just as long
Like
as nothing's
snort. And then,
yeah. Well, yeah, and they would say like, "Oh, if nothing's broken," like they would ask Miroslav like, "Is anything broken?"
Miroslav tries to take like a
You may
deep
careful.
breath.
You may careful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a free.
Okay. If you had rolled very badly, you probably would have determined, ribs broken, it's piercing my heart. But you rolled well, so you are able to determine that you'll be fine. You just need like a minute to catch your breath.
Yeah. So he's like taking a deep breath and is like, well, it hurts, but I think I'll be fine. I think nothing's broken.
Yeah. Muninn would say like, "Well, yeah, it could be worse. You could be like that guy," and then point to Always Thirsty.
Writhing on the ground in agony.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I guess.
Could I walk over to? So is Anghel walking over to Always Thirsty as well?
Yeah.
So Anghel will,
Okay.
will reach him first, but yeah, you can as well if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like to join you. Show&Tell / Anghel. To like give you a hand.
Yeah. Anghel first, nevertheless, because time. You reach Always Thirsty, writhing on the ground, and as soon as he sees you, his face brightens up. And he has this like awestruck expression, like almost like a baby when you showed him something exciting.
Aww.
This guy.
He's still impaled to the ground via an arrow.
Okay. I somehow feel like pulling the arrow out might not be a good
Yeah,
thing to
usually-
do. But maybe just how deeply is it embedded in the ground itself?
Give me a careful, please, because obviously he's a bit in the way.
Yeah.
This arrow is slightly bigger than typical arrows because the shooter was a very big guy with a very big bow. But it's not embedded too deeply. Like, Always Thirsty is writhing in pain, more so because it's painful, not because he can't get up, if that makes sense. If he were to make the effort, he could pull himself all out, but it would suck because
Ouch.
Okay, so maybe Anghel crouches behind him.
I would say the arrow seems to be through the shoulder, so nothing like vital organ was hit.
Okay. So wherever the arrow is, like Anghel will crouch down there and try to kind of, hold it. Like basically help Always Thirsty, like pull it out. Without without it moving too much.
Yeah, give me a careful, please.
If that makes any sense. Okay.
How genuine question? How like used is Anghel to like gore and such?
Gore. I mean, his family was killed.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, I don't think it means he's used to it, but you did see some things.
The injuries that his family suffered are not as bad as Always Thirsties, but yeah. Anyway, you're able to
Really? Okay.
Moving on.
You were joking?
No, I'm not joking. I just don't want to go into detail. Anyway. Yeah.
What? Okay. I'm confused. Let's move on.
Okay. I'm almost certainly overcomplicating it. Anyway. Yeah, you are able to gently pull the arrow out of Always Thirsty. He winces in pain.
I didn't mean to pull it out. I meant to pull it out of the ground.
Oh yeah, my bad. To pull Always Thirsty with the arrow out of the ground. He winces in pain, but you are able to not make it worse. Because if he would have just tried to get up, he probably would have driven the arrow further into himself, which would have been not good. But you're able to sort of maintain that equilibrium. He winces in pain and says, Did you defeat the monster? Whatever it was?
It's a work in progress.
Oh, you certainly must have. You're the prince after all.
Anghel just shrugs.
And then he smells something and remembers, oh no, I spilled my wine. And yeah, you notice now that he did, when he fell, spill the wine that he brought from the markets. And
all of it?
Well, one of the jugs anyway. He probably has multiple. And the thing that triggered this memory is the smell of a different smell of wine, but mixed with something rotting that closes in.
I thought it was me that was making the smell.
Yeah, you're correct.
On its own. Wait. So did he?
Your smell reminded him that he spilled the wine. TLDR.
Right. I see.
Where though?
No, like nearby, because he was shot, fell, dropped the wine. You see it. You see like the not jug. What's the word? Like amphora. That's like an ancient Roman term. Anyway, the ceramic thing that's holding the wine, I guess. Jug, I guess. Sure. When I think of jug, I think of something more circular than long. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
I
don't know.
He was holding it. He got shot. Dropped it, obviously, when he was shot. And it spilled downhill, obviously spilling its contents. He still has 2 other jugs on his person, but obviously he's very distraught by the loss of one of them.
What were the jugs of wine for, if I can ask? As like
for him to
just
drink.
for him.
He's always thirsty.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Okay. So it's not for any other particular reason. Got it.
I mean, you can suspect if you want to. It's just
no. It's
the simplest answer is probably the most correct one.
Yeah, he's not very schemy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wasn't sure if it was like a quest item. But that's okay. Moon would say I was gonna come and help, but I mean that thing. The arrow's still in his shoulder, isn't it?
Yep, but he's no longer impaled to the ground.
Okay. Moon would say usually you have to push those things out rather than pulling them out. You know, like a fish hook. Muninn would.
Okay.
Muninn would.
Like from the other side?
Yeah, so like you have to push it through. Usually, like you have to push arrows through the wound rather than pulling them out because of the metal bit. That's what Muninn meant, and that's what I meant too.
Yeah, I didn't know that it made a difference. Okay.
Yeah, usually anyway. I guess it depends on the arrow. Muninn would almost like instinctually try and help.
Their eyes glow white, I'll say.
Yes. Yeah. So emphasis on
okay.
instinctually.
Interesting.
Would Anghel let Muninn do this? Oh, I would say too many thirsties. Two always thirsties as well.
What?
I got his name wrong.
You're asking for his consent to help, basically?
Yeah, both of you. Yeah.
Always Thirsty's consent is Angel's consent, so he looks to Anghel.
Anghel, kind of tips his head, like yes, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Then Muninn would snap off. Like if it's one of those arrows that has, I think every arrow has this, like the feather on the end.
Mm-hmm, it does.
So Muninn would, Muninn would snap that bit off, so no feathers go into the wound or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Muninn would pull it from the other side, so it's just like coming out of that side, so the metal doesn't go through the wound again.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that makes sense.
Yeah. Can I get a careful from you? This will not be a very difficult roll because you know what to do.
Okay, good. I got a 2.
The bare minimum, but still good enough. You're not as cautious as you can be, at least in when it comes to always Thirsty's comfort level. Like he clearly winces and tears are flowing from his eyes. He's in a lot of pain, but you are able, sort of clinically, to not make things worse, and you do get the arrow out.
Very good. Yippee! And
Yay.
You do notice the same thing that Anghel did, that it's quite a sizable arrow, both in like girth, length, and all that, because of the person that shot it.
Yeah. Muninn would throw it into the ground, so it like stands in the ground, if that makes sense. So like just like throw it away quite casually, if you know what I mean.
Fancy.
Sure. And then Muninn would try to like place their hand on the wound. And as long as why am I saying that? As long as always thirsty. As long as always thirsty doesn't do anything else or whatever, try to get away. Muninn would try and call Akessius's aid to like heal his wound.
Always Thirsty will only get away if Anghel wants him to get away. But yeah, calling on Akessius. Give me, I guess, a careful. It will be an easy roll.
Yes.
Yep.
A 3.
Good enough. Yep. I'll increase your wolf debt. But otherwise, you focus. A bright light comes from the wounds. Always Thirsty winces in pain a little bit, and you almost smell like charred flesh for a moment. But when you remove your hand, he appears to be quite healthy, minus obviously the damage to his clothes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's good. Muninn would look to. Sorry, what were you going to say? If you're going to say anything.
He looks at it, looks surprised, and says, and whispers to Anghel, "My prince, maybe he might be worth bringing along to defeat the dragon."
Okay.
Not he, they. My bad. Sorry.
No, it's fine. He's very cute.
I mean, Anghel, I don't think he knows how to reply to that.
Just a suggestion. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
you're welcome. And then if Muninn would say it to Anghel too, but also like if Miroslav is within eye shot,
I mean, Miroslav is still at the house. He did not move from there.
Okay, so he wouldn't have been able to see the miracle, I guess.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
But I mean, he saw a similar thing when you healed Rebob.
Yeah. Well, Muninn would probably say it to Show&Tell. Show&Tell, sorry. Muninn would probably say it to Anghel anyway, very robotically. And to Too Many... who the hell is Too Many Thirsty?
Always first, his evil twin brother.
Yeah.
Too many thirsties?
Too many...
It sounds slightly, I don't know, erotic, I don't know.
Oh my god. Muninn would very robotically, for whoever is in earshot, would say like this is the divine power of Acesius, basically showing off their power, but in a very robotic sort of monotone kind of voice, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Anghel kind of narrows his eyes at them, sorry. And yeah, he doesn't say. He just kind of, the look kind of lingers. Doesn't sign anything. He just.
Can I get a careful from Anghel or clever? Either works. And to not reveal, but give him some food for thought. Let's say.
Okay. Let's hope.
Above board, this was related to, because you have witnessed some miraculous healing before from a priest, if that makes sense. So it was more so to give you more food for thought on the difference between that healing versus this healing.
Oh, I want that. I want to hear that. Okay, maybe I'll do a reroll, but I have to think why.
Careful is referencing your memory, clever is your analytical skills. That was the difference between the choices.
Yeah. Memory. I'll have to find a way to justify it though. Just a second.
Yeah, while you do that, what has Miroslav been up to?
Miroslav has been catching his breath, and once he feels like he can stand without the help of the wall, he would probably also go towards where Muninn and Anghel and Always Thirsty are.
Makes sense to me. Nothing of note happens in sort of your proximity. Yeah, so if you go there directly, you may reach them, I guess, let's say around this point.
Yeah. He would see that Always Thirsty seems to, one, not be impaled anymore, and two, be healed, and he'd be like, oh, very good.
Still seems distraught and mutters, I spend 20 actually on that jug of wine, grumbles.
I think Muninn would echo what they said earlier to Miroslav, because they would probably notice that Miroslav noticed that Always Thirsty is healed. So yeah, they would echo the sentiment, but they would they'd probably begin to walk back towards the estate. And I say begin because Show&Tell still has the thing to do. But
yeah. I mean, I think. Sorry.
No, you go.
I think I came up with something, but you
Okay.
finish. I don't know. Um,
Oh, yours.
I hope that it makes sense, but I'm just thinking maybe distrustful. That he would maybe try to find ways in which to to think badly of Akisius in some way. Does that make sense?
So
Like,
a bit of confirmation bias. Sure, yeah, it works. It works.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
You're using it to reroll, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope that's the right choice. Okay.
Better.
Okay.
Since you're thinking on it, I'm willing to give you at least like a little bit. While sort of the end result looks the same, as in the person is healed, that smell of burnt flesh still can't quite escape your nostrils, and you're more so. This is like when the priest healed that what was Jean's bullet wound. If you remember, that was a long while ago. It was
Yeah.
almost comically simple and miraculous. Like he put his hand over the bullet wound. Second later, bullet popped out and the leg was completely intact. This felt more like Muninn. It's hard to describe in words because you don't necessarily even like Anghel. I mean, doesn't necessarily even have the vocabulary for what he witnessed, but it almost seemed like Muninn was forcing some kind of energy into Always Thirsty to heal him. Almost like it felt intrusive, like almost as if a part of Always Thirsty was taken away in the process, while the priest healing from before felt almost like everything going back to its proper place, let's say.
Okay. Definitely confirming the bias.
Yeah.
I was wondering when he was healed by that. Was she a nun? What was she?
A nun, yes.
Yeah.
You were
He was-
unconscious, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was just wondering, like, okay.
If you have any questions, maybe I can answer them still.
No, I was just like wondering if Angel saw any of that or was conscious to any, because I did remember like exactly how it happened. So that was all.
I guess the only thing would be the end result. You were covered in blood, shot, very much stabbed multiple times, and those wounds have healed, except for you still feel like what's the word for like a phantom limb, but for a phantom wound, I guess, from when Rebob shot you because of the level 6 consequence that is still in effect. You still feel that phantom pain, even though like if you touch yourself, you feel perfectly fine. If that makes sense.
Right.
And
I mean, he does have a scar, but it's like it's natural healing, I guess.
yeah, exactly. You're not burnt. Like, well, you are burnt, but I mean, it's not a fresh burn. It's a scar from the burning, if that makes sense. Almost as if this won't happen like 20 years ago or something.
Yeah. Okay.
When you
When
you mentioned, sorry.
okay.
No, you go. I totally interrupted you, so I apologize. You go first.
I mean when Muninn like basically paraded what they did, Miroslav would just be kind of I know you did it before, but I'm not sure you should be using power like that too much.
You have to disagree with him, Muninn.
Yeah.
Orders from above.
Muninn monotonously would disagree and say,
Their eyes glow white.
sorry?
Their eyes glow white.
Oh, right. They would say something to the effect of, well, he's healed, and Well, that's basically what they would say. They would say like, do you deny that he is healed?
I did not deny that, and I'm very thankful. The amount of times your eyes glow has increased. Especially when you are trying to talk.
His healing was. Muninn would say, it is as Cassius wills. And then they.
I know.
That's the most perfect response from his point of view you could have given above board.
Yeah. And then Muninn would say to Anghel. Well, yeah, we know that Anghel's okay, obviously. So, if everyone's ready, Muninn wouldn't wait for everyone. Muninn would like begin to walk back to the estate, like I sort of suggested earlier. But feel free to stop them or whatever if anyone wants it to stop them.
I think real brief the person who invited you to this estate, not the owners, only Kepharos would approach sort of from a distance and ask, "Is everything well?" Asking the group in general.
The only reason I hesitate is because I don't want to speak for the group. But Muninn would say, "Everything is well. Everything is as he." Sorry, excuse me. My brain's not working very well in real life. But Muninn would say like, "Oh, it's all as." Muninn would say, "It is as he wills," as in like he, as in Cassius.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
If anyone has anything else to say, Muninn would.
I'm wondering.
Go on.
I'm wondering if Anghel wants to pursue the whole matter of like shooting trespassers, but I did. What's his name? Nicaphorus?
Yep.
Did he ask if everything's well? Like that's what he asked?
Yep.
Yeah.
A pointedly general question.
Uh-huh. Maybe Anghel would kind of wave in the direction of Always Thirsty in a very pointed way, I guess.
Give me a flash, because the meaning might be conveyed incorrectly.
Okay. Nah.
Looks at Always Thirsty, says, appears to be healthy. Glad
Yeah,
to see.
exactly. Huh.
Above board, if you had rolled very poorly, he would have like gotten the exact opposite of your meaning of like, oh, not only are my security measures effective, but Cassius is awesome for healing him, basically. But you just rolled, not completely terrible.
I could say if you want to.
Yeah, I guess Anghel could sign. Like it doesn't have to just. Maybe he signed something like your satyr did this or something like that.
Your satyr did this, conveys Always Thirsty as usual, and says, yes, effective guardian, isn't he? In the future, when you
Too effective.
What did you say?
Too effective.
You have to understand that not many important matters are at stake here. For instance, people are not supposed to know that I'm here. Smiles at you. Nor that you three are here.
Why?
Perhaps we can talk more about that at dinner, I believe. It'll be in an hour, it's almost ready. Always Thirsty says, will we have wine there? I lost one of my jugs. Oh yes, plentiful. The owner of this estate, Zamfir, is if the purveyor of the palace, if in wine or in wines. So you're in luck on that.
Okay.
You've never seen Always Thirsty get more excited, other than when Anghel does something cool.
Oh,
Sure. Anghel kind of lets it go because he is kind of forced to, but he's very unhappy. And if you look at his face, you can tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could Muninn say like, you're lucky the satyr didn't. What's the, like, not kill? You're lucky the satyr's blow wasn't
Lethal.
lethal. That's the word. Thank you.
Oh, come
Whom are you saying this to?
Like,
is this a warning to the careful? Like, don't you dare unleash the satyr on us again, or is this a thing to Anghel? Like, oh yeah, isn't it great that Always Thirsty is good? Because I'm not sure of your tone, basically.
of course. It was kind of like a very subtle, not subtle, but a very like passive threat to Nikephoros, saying like, well, you are lucky that the satyr didn't kill him, basically.
It's funny coming from.
Yeah, I think Nikephoros will also like raise an eyebrow in mild surprise at that, and say,
Yeah.
"Surely you understand the need for secrecy, though." And Casey tells you in your mind that you do understand it. But he says, "But I agree. It would have been unfortunate if one of your friends would have been caught up in the proverbial crossfire. Just remember the sign in the future." And he lifts his arm, pointing his palm like at a 90-degree angle, so to say.
Yeah. Muninn would nod and acknowledge that, and then like
Says that to
emphasize
everyone,
it
but yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say like Muninn would like turn around and say like, yeah, look everyone. Like I know everyone's looking anyway, but I just had a thought. Because I don't want to go on a massive tangent, but I was gonna say like, because I just noticed that you mentioned my current debt.
In above board for the viewers in our Discord chat.
Yeah.
Muninn
Yes.
owes 21 wolves above board.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would
I
it?
mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Would it be a? I imagine it would be. Would it be a really involved process to go out and hunt for them, or can I just say Muninn goes and does that until dinner time?
I mean, give me, I guess, a clever.
Oh, okay. Okay, a 6. That's quite high. Or is it? I don't know. It might not be.
At this time of year, wolves are mostly solitary. Mostly, of course. And the forest is not that close. So by the time like dinner's done and all that, you'd be lucky if you got like 1 or 2.
Okay. I'd also that's fair enough. I'd also feel bad because like I feel like a debt should be heavier than just being like, oh, Muninn goes and does that, and then comes back. So I'm fine with that, obviously.
I mean, we can potentially do that in the future, but in this particular circumstance, it wouldn't be very productive. Let's say.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, Muninn does go towards the estate, unless something else happens before then.
Show&Tell, Izvir?
Go.
I mean, from Miroslav's tone and wording, it's probably even for, or especially for Muninn, clear. He is not very happy about how much power the Auric or Acacius has over Muninn, It's just like, eh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Would you hold that sentiment, or would you say something to them? Do you think?
I mean, he did try to convey that with
Earlier,
what he
yeah.
said earlier.
That's true. No, that's true. Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah, I don't. He wouldn't really be talking much.
Understandable. Anything from Anghel?
Like we're just like how soon is dinner?
An hour.
An hour.
An hour.
I don't know. I guess I don't have anything. What is it to do? Oh, I'm distrustful of food or drink. I forgot about that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I guess Anghel maybe worries about the food that's gonna go for an hour.
Understandable.
Mona would say, I'd like to meet you two, if it's okay, obviously. Mona would say, I'd like to meet you two to discuss something, Miroslav and Anghel.
Sure.
We can discuss it in our accommodations. Very subtly.
The thought of sharing a closed room with Muninn sends shivers down your spines in terms of the smell.
My God.
I think Miroslav has composed himself to at least not like let it show anymore on his face. Since he is used to like strong smells, but when the air or the wind was well, what was the word?
Knocked out of them.
Knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Well, he had to take a deeper breath, so it was like. But I think now he's again like, okay, I can deal with this.
Yeah. That's him.
Muninn, can I get a careful from you? This will involve your like eyesight stunt to see if you notice something.
Yes. Oh, I thought I clicked on it, but apparently not. There you are. So a 6.
You detect. This is odd. A brief flash with your otherworldly vision seems to be coming from the basement, but then as soon as it's done, it goes away.
Okay. That's interesting. I don't think Muninn would... Obviously, Muninn wouldn't mention anything just yet, but I'm going to make a personal note for that, because that's a bit strange. Muninn would ask Cassius, like, what was that?
And this is... I sent you the...
What did Muninn see? I'm sorry. What exactly?
It's hard to describe, because it basically... like a brief flash with their otherworldly vision, but then very, very quickly, almost as soon as it came up, it was gone. And Muninn, as you ask the question, you also feel a slight sense of confusion from Cassius, which is perhaps worrying.
Ooh. From the basement, right? Did I make that up?
The general area?
Yeah, the general,
Yeah, because it's not quite like X-ray vision. It seems to be coming from beneath the estate, so Muninn assumes there's a basement, basically.
Okay.
But Cassius replies, I am not certain.
Okay. Muninn wouldn't mention it to anyone else just yet, but I think we will investigate that later. And I put it in my notes so I don't forget.
It is rare for a Cassius to be unsure of something.
Yeah, which is a bit worrying.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, like, there's no real way to mind, what's the word, psychic powers Nikephoros is there to like be like, does he know something? So I guess Muninn would shelve it, and then when not to spoil it, but when Muninn was like, oh, should we go to our accommodations? I'd like to potentially read the letter that was on the cannibal. I can't remember her name, but
Miroslav.
yes, which is why Muninn would, which you'll find out, I guess in a sec.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, Muninn voiced that intention. Did I get it right? Feel free to correct me. That Anghel and Miroslav are following them.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Awesome. Muninn would go to their. Well, they would start the journey. It's not a journey, is it? But start the journey to
we can fast forward. Nobody will disturb you on your way there.
Okay, awesome.
Or the only thing you will notice is the. Well, actually, give me a careful to see if you I guess notice something. But it'll be a very difficult roll. Muninn, I guess, but actually everyone else can roll as well. It'll be very difficult.
Careful.
Yeah.
Is it an eyeball roll?
It is an eyeball roll.
Okay. A 7.
Yeah. Anghel and Miroslav, you're still dreading the fact that you have to share a close space with Muninn, so you do not notice. Muninn, you notice continued preparations for like the upcoming dinner, and you briefly see in the dining room itself Ophelia talking with Basil and your host, who we have not actually met, Zamfir. Like just chatting, basically.
Oh, I see. Wait, Ophelia and Zamfir are chatting, you said?
And Basil.
And Basil.
Oh, and Basil. I forgot that Basil was here. It's good to see him, though, obviously. Okay. I don't think I would acknowledge him just yet, or whatever. But it's good to know that they're. I'm interested to see what they're talking about. But I don't know if we're not in earshot, are we?
With a 7, I guess you would be. I guess with a 7.
Oh, okay.
Seems to be. General. Niceties, I guess, because they're politicians. They are very adept at saying much without saying anything at all, let's say. Feel free to give me a clever to parse through the nonsense.
I will do. God, a 7.
That's a good one.
Lucky number 7.
You parse through their general niceties that don't mean, and platitudes that don't mean anything, to realize that Ophelia is very, very curious why Basil seems so uncomfortable, and is also interested in Zamfir's wine, just in general, and Zamfir seems to be almost falling over himself to brag about his vineyards, while Basil is trying his best to conceal his emotions, let's say.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to make this note to self.
I will say with a 7, you sort of get the impression that Zamfir is a bit of a simpleton. Because he doesn't seem... He's over-eager to overshare, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting. So, either there's something interesting about the vineyards in particular, or I put down maybe Basil knows something about the wine that's wrong, potentially poisoned. But that's only speculation, obviously. I just thought I'd share that because that's interesting. Would Acacius let anything on about Basil? Like, but Acacius, I mean, it would say like, Basil looks a bit sort of sheepish. What's going on?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
Acacius seems, when he says you don't want to know, he doesn't seem dismissive. He seems annoyed. Annoyed
Okay.
and mildly embarrassed.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Just know that when you will be asked, you should say no, but think of a polite way to say no.
Oh. Okay. And I'll know it when I hear it.
You will definitely
Sort of
will.
thing.
Acacius says with mild discomfort.
Okay. I think I really know what's going on.
I really think you do not, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. Okay. So
BRB,
vineyards
just
shelving that.
Just for a second while I take a drink of water, but yeah, go on.
Okay. I'm gonna shelve the vineyards thing. I really want to know what's going on with that. But also, I've not forgotten about the basement, but we'll get to that. I wonder if they're linked. But somehow.
Feel free to get
Muninn
clever to speculate.
Oh, okay. Clever. A 1.
With a 1, because that's a critical fail. I have to mislead you somehow with a critical fail. Yeah, Zamfir is just dumb enough to plot to poison someone. Yeah, probably someone's gonna die at this banquet, and it'll be Zamfir's fault.
Oh, interesting.
That's what you just sincerely believe with that awful clever roll.
Oh my god.
I just hope they don't tell it to Anghel.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna be drinking any wine tonight, but in the meantime, I'm gonna let me know when we're in the room.
Whenever you guys want to be.
Okay. Are you guys ready to be in the room?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
As soon as you enter, Miroslav and Anghel immediately look for a window. Fortunately, there is
there a
one.
window?
Fortunately, yes.
Okay. That's good. I guess Muninn would begin by saying, let me just check something really quick. I don't really have a checklist of things to say or anything, but Muninn would say, but I think Muninn would lay, if there's a table, Muninn would lay the letters. We talked about the letters before, haven't we? The ones that we've already opened.
Yeah, you have not shown any of them to the other two, but you have read them.
Oh, okay. Muninn would just lay them on a table for the. Well, I mean, Anghel can't read.
There are 3 in total.
Yeah. Have we?
Miroslav also can't read.
Oh, okay.
This does not matter, but always first, he also cannot read.
Oh my god. All right. Well, Muninn lays out the toilet paper on basically what's as good as toilet paper on the table. And then Muninn would say the reason why I wanted to talk with you all is because I don't above board I don't think we've read the cannibal's letter yet.
Muninn has, but has not shared.
Oh, which one have you?
I have. Yeah, you can look in our Discord, our private messages, Deli. I wrote Pryoshka's letter in reply to the actual contents.
So there was a third letter that I haven't read, right?
No, you've read all 3.
Oh.
2 from 2 from soldiers and 1 from Piroshka.
Oh,
Do
I
we
see.
know? Do we know above board what's? I remember one. I think.
Yeah, you
One was
above
displayed.
board. Above board, you know the contents of one letter in general terms. At least it's a sob story from a soldier. TLDR.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know not really a lot about letter that was that didn't arrive where it should have because they didn't get to it from the soldier writing to his mom, I think.
Yeah, that was the one
Yeah,
Yep.
that we.
Yeah.
that's it. Okay. Fair enough then. I guess Muninn would share the contents so that we're all, because I know we're all on the same page above board, but like maybe Muninn would share the contents like in character. Would Anghel or Miroslav say anything about them, do you think?
About the letters.
I
Yeah.
mean, Miroslav
you-
doesn't know much more than the nickname that was used in that one letter and that it was addressed to that person's mom.
Okay.
For
Because
convenience's sake, I'll
Muninn basically
Yeah.
just asked him like, "Hey, why would like a soldier write home or something like that?" So they didn't say much about what was written in the letter.
Okay.
I don't remember what was important about it. No.
It was the important thing was that we could
TLDR.
basically indebt us or well make good with the mom from a soldier that
Oh.
was a bit higher. I don't know.
Look, we know where she is.
You don't know where she is. It's just that the soldiers that you killed are basically minor nobility. So ingratiating yourselves with that soldier's mom may be useful in the future.
Even though we killed him.
Well, if you read the letter that I posted in Discord, it says, "Oh yeah, trust the person that's carrying this letter, please."
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
We
good
just
to
have
know,
to
yeah.
not say that we killed them, and that would be fun.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, the fact that you guys don't even remember the gender of the person will be interesting.
Oh god. Okay, that's going to be interesting.
For sure.
The gender
think-
of what person?
The soldier who was carrying the
The
letter.
guy we delivered the letter for.
I
think
mean,
Muninn would.
I
We
think
have
it
to be
was a dude.
subtle about it. We'll make her say it first somehow.
Yeah, we'll trick her. Oh, yeah, your child is dead. Isn't that horrible that your child is dead?
I mean, we could literally just call them Ro
Yeah.
and use the name instead of pronouns.
Yeah.
A
Since
problem
it
for the
does
future.
seem like a
Good thing
nickname, and a good
Anghel can
friend
talk.
would use a nickname.
I think Muninn would hold on to the letter so it doesn't. I think the other letter, I don't know if they would. Actually, maybe they would like once like we're done looking at them or whatever. Muninn would keep all of them just in case.
Sure. Are we reading the other two letters? Because those we didn't get to. Like, we don't know
Yeah.
what's in them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do. Yeah. So the one that we just read, Muninn's got, and then I got it from our chat, Teeironor, so I'm.
I guess keep
No.
in mind that the viewers cannot look at our Discord.
That's true. Would you like me to read it? And would you like me to read the first one actually, so that, or are you gonna put it on screen? Do you think?
I'm probably not gonna put it on screen. I'll be completely honest.
Okay.
So we've briefly discussed the first one before. So, dear
Yes.
viewers, it is basically, as we've established, a soldier writing to their mother. They're basically saying, yeah, the war was scary. I'm sorry for not listening to you. I'll be home soon. I have some business with Ertuğrul Gazi, but after that business is done, I'll be home. I'll try to like get someone to deliver this letter for me. So trust the person that's delivering the letter, please.
Yeah. And the other letter. I'm just trying to read over it.
I mean, you could also just be in character and read it to us because Miroslav and Anghel can't read it anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Small caveat. Small caveat about the other soldier letter. Again, because Discord is buggy. There are numbers in it. The numbers are not meant to be read out loud. They're notes.
No.
So, for instance, the letter begins Honored Effendi, and there's a note. Effendi may be a name or it could be a title. You don't know.
I was confused about that at first, just reading it, but then I remembered, like, oh yeah. Okay, I'll read it out in character. I don't think I read this one out in character before.
Nope.
No.
Because there's one
you
line
read
in it.
I think, after I left for my room. Because the first one you read while I was shaving you.
Right. So Muninn would read, if everyone's ready, Muninn would read, Honored Effendi, I've finally finished the book you gave me. I'm so sorry it took so long. There was little time for rest on the campaign. The Beyler Bey asked for my services often, and I could not refuse. Still, you remain first in my heart, Honored Effendi. Muninn graciously reads over the next line, but Muninn would say, there's another sentence that's just a bit graphic for younger ears, looking to Anghel. I've heard you are planning to meet the Beyler Bey and the Grand Vizier at White Rock. I'm so sorry that I could not join you. Ertuğrul Gazi asked for my help with a delicate matter, and I am not even sure I will have the time to send this letter. If Ertuğrul Gazi is right and in his suspicion, and we are successful, please expect to hear our exploits soon. If not, then may the Almighty judge me for our mistakes. I look forward to seeing you again. I miss you dearly. Love, Murad, little chick.
Again, Murad is crossed out, and next to the Murad says little chick, that we've established means little ass.
Yes. And Beyler Bey.
Can I get a careful from Anghel?
Sure. Just a sec. Careful.
This immediately rings a bell with you because you remember when Euromedin was tormenting you with visions of your sister. You saw the Beyler Bey and the Grand Vizier, and I guess the place you are at is White Rock.
Oh, okay.
When you were a bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is White Rock? No. Okay. White Rock.
If you have, feel free to voice any questions you may have.
No, I think I made a... I confused two things. Okay.
I will say Muninn has determined, because we had Muninn roll before, White Rock is basically, you guys follow the road north, White Rock would be south, if you had followed the road south. TLDR.
Oh, yeah, I think we knew that already, right? That we were going in the opposite way of actually going after
Above board you did.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
But again, there's the whole thing about asking the prince for help, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So... Okay.
Again, Muninn would roll the letter up for safekeeping because it could come in handy. But would Anghel let on would Anghel recognize like White Rock and like everything? Like,
Yeah, but I don't know, like, what... I mean, what do we make of it, though? Did Anghel not know where it was before?
Anghel knew that Willa was in a port fortress.
Yeah, he
town,
just didn't know where it
village
was, and now he does know where it is.
Yes.
Because of the letter, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. I see. Okay, so I guess Anghel would have a reaction.
okay.
Everything alright, Anghel?
Thanks. I didn't know what reaction he was having. I'm glad you noticed. I'm trying to think what he would say. Like, I guess maybe he would say like, "Oh, I heard those names before," or something like that.
No
Yeah.
titles, but yeah.
We would ask where have you heard them before?
He never told anyone about the dream, did he?
Don't believe he did.
Your Medin showed it to me, I guess. They have Willa, maybe.
The name means nothing to Miroslav.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
The Baylor Bane and the Grand Vizier have Willa.
Yes, on a
That
ship.
White Rock.
Who was, like, in that dream, who was... There was an old man that walked into a room, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old man was assigned as a teacher for Willa, but was actually Rimlen in disguise. But then you saw
Right,
the
right,
other
right.
goddess that was, yeah.
Yeah, that we asked for help, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
I am guessing Willa is an important person to you.
Miroslav says that.
Yeah.
She's a princess,
Uh,
says always Thirsty.
She's a prince. Sure.
The sister of a princess, I guess. Above board.
I guess so. She's my sister. Uncle signs. I don't know how much Miroslav understands the signs.
Always
but-
Thirsty translates for you, or
Oh,
conveys
okay,
for you.
okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, I would ask, how do you know? Because obviously, Anghel hasn't mentioned it. How do you know that she's there?
I mean, my uncle said your Medin showed it to me.
Oh, sorry. I must have.
I mean, I don't know what that means to you, but that's what happened.
My bad. Muninn would say, so. I just got a message.
I mean, but I don't know how much that changes anything, honestly. 'Cause...
Who or what is your madam?
Muninn's eyes glow white.
Uncle's like, I don't have time for this.
To answer Miroslav's questions, Muninn would say, Eurymedon is the god of the sea.
Water in general,
and his-
yeah.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Above board, I don't know if Muninn necessarily wants to mention this or not, but above board, if you remember when the party was almost drowning when Izvir first joined that campaign, that was Eurymedon's doing. Well, not just Eurymedon, the Water Witch too, but you know what I mean.
What was your Medin's doing? I missed that.
If you remember, Ophelia and Hakim and all those were drowning in the little lake when you met. Well, when Izvir joined the campaign.
Oh.
Our little tutorial boss encounter.
Yeah.
That was mostly
I
the
think
Water
I
Witch, but Eurymedon also was fighting against you. It was the reason why it was difficult to
Right.
move underwater, why Anghel
Right.
was pulled underwater, etc. Yeah.
Mm. So did Miroslav notice though? Like
No.
No?
Mm.
Miroslav just tried to help and was very confused by the water blocks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. It was the whole because
Yeah.
he didn't see the woman, right? Or he wasn't
Yeah.
attracted or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Right. So
So-
I mean, yeah. I don't know if Anghel will actually go into. I mean, I know that he won't go into explaining everything right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Moon would say at least we know at least we know where to go after we've spoken to the prince, and we're not completely looking for a needle in a haystack, looking for
If they won't be
Willow.
gone by
Above
then.
board, above board, Show&Tell and Anghel, actually, if you remember, Eurymedon specifically threatened you that, yeah, he'll keep White Rock in the middle of a storm so that Willow does not leave, just so that you get there in time, just in time to watch him
Right.
kill her in front of you.
So it doesn't matter when we get there, basically.
Well, within reason, I guess.
Yeah, we can't take years, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he could change his mind, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah, okay. I guess in some way that's
good thing.
like in a stupid way a comfort to know that at least you won't be gone.
Mhm.
If so, after that, Muninn would roll. So obviously, Muninn's rolled up the letter. They put it back in their satchel, whatever they've got, and
Yeah, I think maybe Anghel, like instead of saying, like what was the last thing Muninn said? We know where to go. So Anghel will say,
oh yeah,
After you meet the prince.
yeah,
basically.
Eurymedon said he will keep them there until we get there. So whatever, whatever we said, but like,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. What we
Okay.
yeah.
Miroslav will be like, okay, so if your madam is both giving you visions and keeping your sister safe? Question mark.
In place.
Is well. The thing is, Anghel only said like,
Yeah.
we'll keep her there and
No,
like, yeah.
I want him to say the whole thing. It's just that it became too long. So I was just like, why am I repeating this? Basically, that he will keep them there until we get there, and then he will. So Anghel watches her die. Basically,
Okay.
he says the whole
he
thing.
does. So he does say the part about.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise,
Yeah,
Miroslav would have kind of been like, okay.
Okay, he's a good guy.
Is the madam kind of to Anghel what Acacius is to
Oh God,
Muninn?
no.
No.
Just because, like, okay, a god that apparently gives you visions that tell you things
Yeah.
about people, or show you people you care about, and yeah. Okay, no, then Miroslav would just be like, okay.
Great, another enemy.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to fight against him. I do not know
Of course,
how to
we
swim.
have to fight.
Well, as long as we're on land, I guess fine. I can't swim.
I mean, kind of no one can swim when he's around, but sure.
Yeah, but I even yeah.
It's fine.
You remember.
Yeah, definitely keep away from water.
We have to hurry to the prince, though. Well,
Yeah.
I guess
yeah,
we have a
do.
deadline anyway. We have the wedding, right? I need to get to.
Yeah, we do. I think after dinner tonight, whatever the hell's gonna happen. Muninn wouldn't say it like this. So Muninn, okay, maybe. So if Anghel said that, Muninn would say, we could probably set off in the morning after dinner tonight.
We don't
so
need dinner. Who wants to eat anyway?
I am.
I don't know if
kind
it's a
of
good idea to
hungry.
go on your own, Anghel.
No, I don't think he really meant it. I just think he was reminded of the fact that there's dinner and that he's worried about that.
Muninn would say, you need to get your strength up because you're very wounded right now. Muninn wouldn't, unless maybe Muninn would say that. I was going to say, I was referring to your consequences.
Yeah.
Muninn would very subtly say, although I'm a bit cautious of tonight's dinner, and then maybe lean. So maybe don't let your guard.
What do you mean?
wait. What did you say? Sorry.
You too. What do you mean?
Yeah. Muninn says, I have my suspicions of the host and some of the guests, but nothing that I can.
I'm not eating.
You'll probably be fine, but just keep your guard up. I'm just looking. Did I say something that I shouldn't have?
Whispers to you, Anghel. Can we drink at least, please? Don't know if Discord picked that up.
If you get poisoned.
What did you say? Sorry.
Who said?
Show&Tell, please.
You.
I just said if you get poisoned, but I didn't know how to finish it, so I'm just gonna leave it at if you get poisoned.
Me?
I think she
no,
was.
always thirsty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anghel was replying to always thirsty. Thirsty, like his eyes go wide and says, "Why would we be poisoned? Well, I rather. We, you, I, us."
There's always a risk. I feel like he's getting paranoid.
But
you don't know what they put in there.
But they'll be offering us drinks, says genuinely alarmed at the possibility of missing a drink.
I don't know. It's your choice.
As a sort of anxiety response, he opens one of the jugs and begins downing it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I will at least make sure that Lady Ophelia isn't poisoned.
How? What do you mean? Like
I will Miroslav will drink
like poison?
just to
like be a taster?
basically.
Okay.
He will just try to make sure that if there is poison, it does not get to Lady Ophelia.
If there's poison, he dies, basically.
Yeah.
Or gets affected at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good luck to everyone later, I guess.
Honestly.
If everyone's ready, the finally Muninn would show the letter that they haven't shown yet. And that's the one that we've already talked about before, where it's the wait, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
No,
the one from Piroshka,
no.
you have not revealed the contents of it all.
No.
The only thing we have revealed is sort of the above-board knowledge that Arcesis told you that this was supposed to be delivered inside a person, but Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
More so gruesome for the sake of being gruesome.
Oh, sorry. Do you mind if I put that in the Discord?
Well, do read it for the viewers at least.
Yeah. Okay. So Muninn would preface this by saying this is Piroshka's letter. And they would read, "We're coming with Ertugrul. Andronikos is a coward. Will be late. Remember, I know where old... Sorry for the pronunciation. Georgios. Georgios. Oh, like gorgeous, right? Georgios.
Like the country of Georgia, I guess.
Yes. Remember, I know where old Georgios is buried, and I have told 3 other people. Don't try anything. If I'm somehow dead, they know who to tell. If all goes well, we'll both have what we want. P for Piroshka."
Feel free to give me, I guess, carefuls to know who Georgios is. This will be,
All of us?
yeah, I guess all of you.
Careful, you said,
Okay.
yeah.
This is referencing your memory.
Yeah.
Your minds are in complete sync as you realize Georgios is the current prince's predecessor. As far as you know, the sort of story was he died in a hunting accident.
Oh.
Oh, so there would be some kind of incriminating evidence if he was found?
You may assume that.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
I mean, it would say if we find this incriminating evidence, we could potentially use it against the prince if we have to. But I don't think
we don't know where. Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think this letter is enough to go on as of right now. Muninn's eyes would light up. But Muninn would say, we have passed his burial site before.
I don't know.
I
was only thinking about the statue.
Above board, it was sort of pointed out to Muninn, but they decided not to investigate it.
Oh, really? Okay. Muninn would emphasize and say it's when the dragon... It happened when... We passed it when the dragon came for us. But in terms of where that might be on the map, is it...
It was in the nearby hills near the village that the dragon utterly destroyed. If you remember, I was telling you, like Akesius was telling you, hey, there's... Actually, I have not revealed that information publicly, so I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. But basically, Akesius pointed out, hey, there's someone important buried there, and some other stuff is going on that only Dely knows, or knew, I guess. And Dely decided, yeah, best to steer clear of that. For good reason, I would say it was for good reason. It wasn't just an arbitrary decision.
Okay.
Right. But just, I mean, Muninn remembers that, and we also remember that. Like, what did we hear?
Anghel is unaware because Muninn did not voice at the time that there's a tomb over there and stuff's going on there. As for Miroslav was not on the scene because Izvir had not joined us at that point in the campaign. Miroslav was driving Ophelia away at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't tell us anything, but Muninn could possibly make the connection, right?
I feel like Muninn knows where it is geographically.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So Muninn could relay that. But other than that, I otherwise don't know or can't remember, basically.
It would be difficult to look through our messages because it was so long ago.
Yeah. But at least we know where to look if we decide to do that. Was it really far away? Sorry. I know you said it was by the village in the hills.
I found it. I found the thing. I'll copy paste. It's a series of messages, so I can't link you to the message. But I'll copy paste the messages
Thank you.
In the Discord. Our Discord, Deli.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Above board, remember when the evil fairy was trying to deceive Anghel that, oh yeah, that's the tomb of Prince Bogdan the Great.
That's him? That's the prince? No.
Prince Bogdan the Great is someone who lived like 200 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, yeah. So this guy is kind of not stealing his tomb, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, he was buried with or in that tomb. Just to... Sorry, I know I asked this earlier, but I don't know if I got an answer necessarily. Is the tomb of Bogdan the Great far away now?
Oh yeah, like, the actual tomb of Bogdan the Great is far away, but the fake tomb is like the fake tomb.
Georgios or...
Yeah, the tomb of Georgios, that was sold to you guys as the tomb of Bogdan the Great, even though it isn't, is just a few hours ago.
Oh, I see. Hours away. I mean, if we're going to use it as like a way to threaten the prince, maybe we should need to look into it. I'm just
maybe as like because we can never be
a few hours away. Anghel doesn't want to eat. You can go there.
Does he say that?
No, he wouldn't think about it though. He doesn't know. He needs Muninn to say it.
Oh, Muninn would say everything that we had just said. So Muninn would say, to put it into character, Muninn would say, so this fake tomb of Bogdan the Great is actually the tomb of Georgios, but it is a couple of hours away. So if we wanted to visit it, yeah. So we can't exactly. I mean, if we wanted to visit it, it would be a bit.
Does it make
difficult.
sense for Anghel to visit it, like to be able to go there and back?
It might be disturbing because you'd be passing by the wreckage of the dragon, and the site of your first poisoning, and.
Oh no.
Well, I have further information, but that would be Kessis talking, not me. So if that makes sense, so yeah, I'll shut up.
Okay.
As in, you have to bring it up to Muninn, who then Kessis would voice it to Muninn and all that convoluted stuff.
Okay, so maybe Anghel like proposes this. Like, do you think I can go back? Even though, going by the place where he almost died is
triggering. Would you
say?
The thing is, I don't know if Muninn would say it might be a bit suspicious if we don't turn up to dinner, but my eyes are glowing, by the way, which is why I'm.
Even if we went back there before we went to the prince, what would your plan be?
To open the grave and see what happens.
Yeah, just because we're curious.
Okay.
I think, but also.
Yeah, I mean, in order to blackmail the prince.
Yeah, if we need to. Which we might. I mean, who knows if we need to or not.
I mean, you know where it is, so wouldn't that be enough already?
Muninn's eyes still glow.
Yeah.
Fun. Miroslav, and Izvir, you're very bright because, yes, Muninn would say the location of the two might be blackmail enough.
Yeah, I was wondering. Like, okay.
Because also since opening his predecessor's tomb might immediately get us on his bad side.
Right. Muninn would also say, if that's okay, can I relay what? Yes. I
actually just, funny enough, relay that to Deli. Then yeah, you can share. This is not a great secret of Kessis, at least.
Okay. Muninn would, after their eyes glue, or glowed.
Glue.
Muninn would glue. Muninn would say it might actually be a better idea. I mean, for us not to go to the tomb anyway, because Anghel, you need to rest, and there's also a vengeful spirit haunting the tomb. So if we opened it, we'd have to, I don't know, ward that off or deal with that in some way.
All right, fair enough.
So
I just wanted to get out of dinner.
Yeah, you can't get out of it. Yeah, the vengeful spirit of Georgios specifically. But like Miroslav, but like you said, if Miroslav said it out loud, but like you said, like you're right, like, right or not?
He did say it out loud.
Okay. Like you said, the location would be blackmail enough, which is something we've got on our side. If we need it. And hopefully we won't need it. Hopefully he will just listen to us.
Yeah.
There's also the blackmail of something I just want to bring up because I need to remember it myself. I feel like if I bring it up, I'll remember it. There's also blackmail involved when it comes to like... Oh no, I think that's more towards the person holding her Willa hostage. Actually, yes. So the guy who's holding her hostage that's illegal, isn't it? So if we tell the prince, it's like, sorry?
Illegal.
Well, we above board. Yeah, the fact that the Grand Vizier is holding someone hostage is illegal, but the Grand Vizier is the second most important person in the entire empire. You know.
Right.
That said, if you like get the prince to make an official like plea, it's still something the Grand Vizier will not be able to ignore easily.
Right. So he would be in deep shit.
Maybe.
Well, it's
maybe.
How should I say this? Again, he's the second most important person in the entire empire. There's very few people who could punish him, but it is sort of a reason for people who want to see his downfall, basically an excuse for them, if that makes sense. To act and denounce him as corrupt and possibly get him removed by the highest authority in the empire, because there's one person above him.
The prince?
Well, the emperor, sultan, however you want to call him.
Oh, okay, I see. Like the prince is just the prince for whatever.
You can substitute prince with governor. It's basically like an equivalent rank.
Okay.
All right.
I'm trying to collate that into notes that make sense, but I think I'm done. Okay. So, Willa, as long as we can get to the prince before anything crazy happens, Willa should be safe, or should be like we should be able to save her.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, Muninn would say, by the way, maybe after dinner when everyone's gone to bed, maybe before anything, unless something else happens that's crazy. I saw something below the estate that was suspicious. So I think we should probably, or maybe I should probably check that out at some point. Just letting you know. If you wanted to come with me, that's fine. But don't feel forced to.
I would say, related to Piroshka's letter, Deli, can I get, actually from everyone, if they want, a clever, but it will be an extremely difficult role to realize, like a subtle detail.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a free.
Not quite from any of you, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, fair play.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was basically it. I think we've gone over the letters. and which is what Muninn wanted to share with everyone. And obviously the basement thing. What does everyone think about the basement thing?
Yeah, we definitely need to investigate. This
Okay.
place stinks.
Thanks. I don't know what you mean. Muninn would say sarcastically. What, you want to investigate now? Or just at some point?
I mean, do you want to skip dinner? I could
That's
work.
That's what I mean.
Above board, because you've spent some time in like your room discussing things. Dinner will be like in 20 minutes at most.
Okay. I don't know if it's a good idea to skip dinner and go.
Damn it.
I would like to come with to the whatever it is.
The basement.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
However,
whatever it is.
I also want to be at the dinner, as I said, to at least make sure that Lady Ophelia isn't being poisoned. Because if somebody is, a target for that, it would probably more be her than any of us.
Okay.
I'm not thinking chances.
Yeah. Just keep a close eye on your drinks tonight, I guess. What? I feel like I was going to say something, but I can't remember.
I guess above board, because of your earlier clever fail, you are convinced that if there will be a poisoning, Zamfir will be the one who does it.
Okay. Muninn would probably relay that so Muninn would probably say like, Zamfir was bragging about his vineyard earlier, and like, obviously unbeknownst to everyone, including Muninn, this is not helpful advice, I guess, but they would say, Zamfir is probably looking to poison us. Or someone. So, yeah, like I said, just keep an eye on your drinks. And just make sure to get some sleep tonight, Anghel. Because you are battered.
I don't know what you mean.
We would say I could fix you up if you wanted me to.
No, thank you.
Above board, Anghel is not wounded. He's just scarred at the moment.
Oh, my bad.
And obviously
Okay.
he's tired and still feels the phantom pain from the bullet wound. But medically, he's healthy.
Okay. So maybe Muninn wouldn't say that. I don't know if there's anything else in terms of like what Muninn would do or say. By the way, I feel like they would. Now that they've gotten everything off their chest, I feel like they would sit on the bed if there is one, and just stare blankly at the wall.
Oh, okay. Creepy.
Yeah.
Are you doing alright, Muninn?
Yeah, Angel's also looking at him like, at them, sorry, like, what is happening?
Muninn would say. Muninn would go to speak and say nothing, but then eventually say, "Everything is fine."
Miroslav would just nod, but you would see that it's more like a kind of sarcastic nod, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I know you're not alright, and I know that, why you can't tell us.
Strictly
Yeah,
above,
Angel would kind
Basically.
strictly above board for Muninn in terms of how they're physically feeling. Their limbs still hurt a lot because they were forced by Cassius to move at unnatural speeds. It does feel like you've ran a marathon, even though you've only ran like a couple hundred meters at most.
Yeah. I think they would actually lay on. So they were just sitting at first, but I think they would actually like slump over a little bit. Not actually lay properly, but like just slump. And just be
Should
like,
we let you
Were you
rest
poisoned?
until dinner?
that would be nice, thank you. And to answer Angel's question, no, I've not eaten anything.
Not seen him drink anything either, says always thirsty. Seen them, sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I would see you two. Muninn would say I would see you two at dinner.
Yes.
But give me a shout if. Actually, Muninn would say that. That's a very give me a shout if you need anything. No, Muninn would say that. They would just say, "I will see you two at dinner."
Yes.
Okay. If you don't die beforehand.
I hope you get some rest.
Muninn nods, and that's it. What am I still wearing? Yeah, no, I am. I was gonna say I'm still.
Your shirt, yeah.
Gone. Yeah, and we established that there wasn't a toga anywhere.
Yeah, definitely not. You'd probably need to find a very specialized tailor for that.
Okay. Is that because they're really, really out of style in this?
I mean, how common are togas today?
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
So, like,
it's clothing from over 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, so it's a bit it's like, yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Okay, Muninn would be staring at the wall. And that's Muninn until dinner time. I don't know about you two.
Miroslav would go to his room, but maybe before he parts way with Anghel, be like, we should be wary of Acacius's power. Or
You don't have to tell me twice. Or once, really. I already knew.
yeah,
Those gods
I
are
just...
evil. Evil.
You tell him.
Yeah. I
But
just hope...
I don't know if there's anything we can do. No, I don't know if Anghel would say that. Never mind.
Nothing easy for sure. Was already hard enough to leave a human master, let alone a god one that can take over your body.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I told him not to do it. I think he told him not to do it. I'm sure that Anghel was very...
Yeah, I feel like there's a general... There's a general, like, there's a general appreciation of, like, this isn't a good idea, if I remember right.
I think so, something.
But then it was like a last-ditch effort to sort the dragon out, wasn't it? And then we didn't even... Or to fight the dragon. And then we didn't even end up fighting the dragon anyway.
Well,
No, it was just that it was the choice of whether to turn into good eye or...
Yeah.
You chose to...
Yeah,
and then,
if you remember, you had the choice: turn into good eye, accept an evil bargain with the dragon, submit yourself to the true faith, or take the oracle deal.
I was gonna say, and then we didn't end up fighting because of the oracle deal, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the oracle cannot be subjected to the dragon's curse, so the dragon had to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Poor whatever other village the dragon lands on.
Yeah. I remember it was a feeling of like, oh, we dodged a bullet, because a dragon boss fight would have been hard, but then, like you said, not good for anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but I guess Izvir wasn't here, so I'll reiterate for his benefit. The dragon's boss fight is designed to be almost impossible if you don't have all the companions of Prince Charming.
Okay.
Oh.
Basically, the dragon has a bunch of abilities, and each companion negates one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So how long is it until dinner?
Like 5 to 10 minutes at most.
Yeah.
So then I guess Anghel, if Miroslav goes to his room, then I guess Anghel would go to his and just pace there.
You work up a sweat, my prince, then you'll be thirsty.
I don't need to drink. I don't need to eat.
Is Angel's or Muninn's room next to
you're close.
Miroslav's?
You guys are close.
Okay, you might hear like a faint singing.
Singing.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Maybe that comes. Is it good singing?
Yeah.
It might come Anghel down, but maybe. I don't know.
Miroslav loves to sing, and it's just like, okay, I have nothing to do until dinner, so
That's
let's
great.
sing while I finally have some time to myself.
Cassius tells Muninn, I'm fine with this being public above board. Cassius tells Muninn, like upon hearing Miroslav sing, that one will make a good follower. Above board, Cassius is also the patron of music.
Right. Miroslav is just painted a target on your back. Good job.
Muninn slowly nods. Like, yeah, he would be a good follower.
Oh my god.
Before I forget, this is seemingly quite random, but before I forget, because I feel like I want to bring it up every time. Do I have the expensive books with this?
Nope, you hid them away.
Okay, okay.
On that note,
That's
thank you for reminding me, because I do need to roll to see if someone finds them.
Oh.
No.
Thank God. Are they nearby, or I can't even remember. I thought they were by where.
If Roll20 were working, probably I could ping on the map, like if the map weren't blurry. But TLDR, it's sort of in the fields to the north.
Yeah, because I think I got rid of them before trying to.
Before we
save.
went into the back part of the estate.
Yep.
Yeah, to look for rhubarb, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I have this. No, I won't mention it. I will mention it next time I have the books, I guess.
Okay.
If I had them, I would do something, but I don't have them, so I'm not going to do anything.
Okay. That gave us a lot.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be cryptic on purpose. It's just like it's like pointless info because I don't have them. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But I think Muninn would get up and walk towards where they assume the dinner will be held, by the way.
Yeah, and above board showing up 5 minutes early is like not a big deal, so to say.
Yeah.
It will be downstairs. There is a dining room, like almost immediately to your left, as you would have come. If you are going to up the stairs, it will be to your left. So I guess it's to your right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Cool.
And,
So
do you? I was going to describe what you see, but if there's anything else, go ahead.
No. Please feel free.
Yeah, you do see servants making final preparations, like arranging aperitifs and all that. And you do see Nikephoros and Zamfir once again chatting, politicking, as they are wont to do. And Zamfir says, I told my servants to throw the meat out. No, it's quite all right, says Nikephoros. Welcome, dear Muninn.
Muninn would acknowledge them by nodding.
Why throw the meat out? What?
Because Muninn stinks of rot.
I smell.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How did I not get that? I don't.
Yeah. And Zamfir says, what? He clearly unused to the circumstance. I'm sorry, but what's this? A peculiarity of our guest. I trust the windows can be left open tonight? Right. I'll have servants on that. Pleased to meet you. I'm Zamfir, your host.
Muninn would nod their head and say, the pleasure. Muninn would nod their head and say, thank you for hosting us this evening. I am the... And they would go to say I am the Oracle of Cassius, but I don't know if that's...
Oddly enough, Cassius allows you to say that.
Okay. I am a Cassius's Oracle.
He looks mildly surprised and mildly confused. And Nikephoros will say, and dear Oracle, as I'm no doubt you are already aware, this is Zamfir, the purveyor of the palace's wine. He owns several vineyards quite close to St. Paris, and, well, all the way to the Emperor's city itself. Quite the magnate, if I say so myself. Yes. It's a business, and a pleasant one at that. You know, the caramels don't really drink, so it can only go up so much, but it's a business.
Impressive. I have a few.
I'd be eager to show you some of the vintages. Have you ever been to the Emperor's City, my good Oracle? He stumbles over the word.
I don't think Muninn has.
It's Bobo. The Emperor's City is the capital of the Caramel Empire. It's a very big city, an important city. Up to you if you've been there before or not.
Probably not. And I'm just checking my notes because sorry, I'm really bad with names as it is. But Eastland are bitter enemies of Caramel, aren't they? So I feel like
but the fact that you're basically a province of the Caramel Empire does say that, like, maybe till the door is not closed.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Muninn would have, especially if it was on the way from. Because, you know, way back in episode 1, we had to decide where we came to the tavern from, if you know what I mean, like north or south. If it was from where they had, so if it's in the north, for example, and that's where Muninn traveled from to get to the tavern, then I feel like yes. I feel like this is a
then no, because the Emperor's City is far to the south.
Okay, so maybe Muninn wouldn't have then.
Sure. Either way, he blathers on and says the climate there is honestly quite perfect for vineyards. Well, not that the climate here isn't much different anyway, but I have to show you the vintage from 2 years ago from the Emperor's City. It was just the perfect combination of weather, and Nikephoros drops in and says, perhaps when all our guests are joined. There are many matters to discuss, yes? Oh, quite. Can we get someone to open the windows, please?
Yeah, Muninn would nod at oh yeah, let's do it later or whatever. Muninn would nod at that because obviously we've got Anghel and Miroslav.
Yeah.
And always thirsty as well.
Is it like shortly before they should be down there? Like maybe like Muninn got there like 5 minutes early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a few
I'll-
minutes after
Actually,
Miroslav.
I will say Izvir. Sorry for interrupting you, but this would happen sort of narratively. Like a minute or two after Moonin left, you would hear a knock on your door.
Okay, Miroslav would go to the door and open it.
It is Lady Ophelia and says, "Am I ready for a good meal?" Smiles at you.
As ready as I can be.
If you're ready, come along then.
Yeah, and he would come along.
Yeah. Show&Tell, do let me know if like you want Anghel to come out at this point or later or whenever. Otherwise, we'll continue. Okay.
Sure. I guess Anghel hears, right? Because they're close together.
Yeah.
So he probably hears Miroslav leaving. Maybe it will take him like a few more minutes, or he kind of tries to delay the inevitable,
Sure.
and then he will join.
Sure. On the way, Ophelia asks, well, you were in your room. I assume you wouldn't know if your friends have come downstairs or not.
I don't know. They both didn't really make any noise in their room, so could be there, could have left. I am not sure.
She whispers to you, "Tell me your honest opinion. What do you make of my good uncle? I will not hold whatever you say against you."
I do not trust his closeness to Muninn's god.
Pauses as if to digest what you said. Nods. It is alarming to see a face that you knew so well change so drastically, even if it is for the better. It is striking.
Yes. Though I guess it makes sense if he has a deal with the Cassius. I have seen what Muninn was able to heal. It does not make me trust him more, though.
I understand what you mean, and if something happens, do stick close to me. All right?
I will.
Can I get a careful or clever from you, Miroslav, to see if you deduce a hidden meaning?
Can have a clever, which is a 6.
Normally, because she's higher ranking than you, it would probably mean, oh yeah, stick close to me to protect me. But you're not sure if it's the other way around this time.
Well, I will, no matter in which direction it is meant, take it to heart and abide by it.
Says, and then once you got the two of you approach the dining room, she'll say more out loud, with the intention of being heard. Do you know that good Zamfir is the purveyor of the palace vineyards? You simply must try his vintage. She says, as if you were casually chatting about this before, if that makes sense.
I will definitely give it a try, especially when it comes from your recommendation, Lady Ophelia.
And hearing your raised voices, Zamfir will say, Lady Ophelia, of course, I have your favorite vintage, ready to serve. Where's the damn servants? And I assume you guys, the two of you, reach the dining room?
Yeah.
Nicephorus says, niece. And Ophelia says, uncle. Both smiling fakely.
You can feel the tension.
Where's my good cousin? Ophelia asks, and Nikifor says, "Oh, he should be here soon. He better be." Perhaps someone should go and fetch him? No, I'm sure he'll turn up. Please, have a seat, Nikifor says to everyone.
Muninn would sit. Muninn would sit.
Yeah.
If Roll20 were more functional, I'd ask you all to like position yourselves at an imaginary table, but alas.
Muninn would probably sit closest to a window if there is one.
How polite! How polite!
But if not, they would sit sort of like close to Nikephoros, but in a way, but not in a way that is like. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna suggest, as a sort of tentative idea, how about would the seating arrangements that I showed, well, sort of before, in the placeholder image that I'm using for the viewers that I reply to in Discord, would these seating arrangements be more or less fine? Again, the person in the top right at the very least is not here.
Yes, for me it would be fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
The person at the top right is who?
That would be Dafina, the commander of the soldiers that is impaling people, that are impaling people. I put the people who I thought might be relevant, as in also relevant just for discussion, in the little placeholder image.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with it, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, same.
Izvir, Miroslav?
I am fine with it. The only thing that I wanted to make sure is that Miroslav sits close by to Lady Ophelia, and that is the case. So yeah.
Obviously, don't take the like dimensions of the image too literally, but yeah. Okay. The people who are present begin to sit, and Nikifor says, "Well, I would rather that everyone be present for our discussion, including my good nephew and your friend, Anghel, was it?"
Yeah, he's coming down, I guess.
As you hear heavy, reluctant footsteps, I guess.
Yeah.
Very reluctant. I hope you can hear the reluctance.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine Anghel would like be stopping occasionally, sighing heavily a few times, I imagine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bless him.
Okay. I guess he arrives eventually. What can you do?
Welcome, he says. We've been waiting for my good nephew, Size.
Oh, Basil hasn't come yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Perhaps Zamfir offers, maybe I can send someone after him? Yes, perhaps that would be best. Size. And Zamfir once again scrambles to get a servant to do what he's told to do.
Can I look down at the basement, or look down to the floor, sorry, with my eyes?
I thought Wayne was asking that.
With your spectral sight, as you termed it? Sure,
Yeah.
give me a careful, but yeah.
Okay. Just see if anything crazy happens.
Even with your stunt, the answer is you don't see anything. If you would have gotten a critical success, I maybe would have told you something, but a critical success would be basically a 9 for you.
Okay.
And you're a 6. Yeah.
Cool. I guess narratively, Muninn would occasionally be looking. Although they can look with their eyes, they don't have to look with their whole head.
Yeah.
So, to anyone else, nothing. Like Muninn's not doing anything because they have the blindfolds on.
Zamfir says,
but-
I've never seen someone so attentive that cannot see. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's all good. Muninn would say, I'm guided. Yeah, Moon would say, I can see more than. I may be blindfolded, but I can see more than mortals. And
Nods slowly.
I can. Yeah, and they would say, through his. Actually, no, they would just say that. They would say like, "Oh, I can see more than mortals, and I can see through the veil of." I can see through the veil. They would say. Very cryptically, very spookily.
You succeed in creeping Zamfir out, definitely.
Yeah.
Nikephoros and Ophelia are more adept at fake smiling than Zamfir is.
Yeah. He, Muninn would like look to. Is there like wine on the table yet, or he's not like given the.
What's the word in English? I was thinking of the French word aperitif. Basically,
aperitif. Yeah.
what's the English word? Starters, I guess.
We say that. Yeah.
Basically, breadsticks and fruits at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Muninn would look to one of the fruits. Smell it. Although no one else is eating yet because we're waiting for the other guests, so maybe Muninn would put that back down.
No, please indulge yourself, says Zamfir. I have quite the bountiful orchards as well. Please, everyone.
Okay, Muninn would.
Anghel looks at him suspiciously.
Yeah.
Give me a careful if you want to like denote his attentions.
Careful.
Seems sincere in his enthusiasm, though I guess you never know.
Is there like a folktale or something like Cinderella? Not Cinderella, Snow White?
Oh yeah, Snow White.
That is known. That Anghel would know from childhood or something.
Give me a careful, because that's referencing your memory.
Okay.
I assume you're more so directing that inquiry at, like, is there a folktale that involves poisonings? Not very not very often, no. There are some folktales about, like, the evil dragon or the evil whatever entity deceives the prince into eating a poisoned apple or stuff like that.
Okay.
But in those fairy tales, the prince always succeeds in overcoming the hurdle, either by exposing the deception or just being so damn sturdy that it doesn't really affect him, or by getting a magical MacGuffin that magically heals the poison.
Okay. As long as there's a story about fruit being poisoned, I think that's important.
But I will say that poisonings are not very common in, like, Rima folktales. They exist, but they're not common.
How nice for them. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Zamfir urged you, Muninn, to indulge. If you want, like, NPC reactions, Ophelia barely manages to suppress a chuckle at how awkward he is.
If Muninn actually takes a bite, Anghel would be watching them like a hawk.
Yeah. I would definitely sniff and then say to Akesi, it's like, am I gonna die if I eat this?
Unless you choke on it, no.
Muninn would take an uncomfortably large bite, and then probably be forced to chew before they swallow.
Yes.
And then they'd be like, and like out of anger, and then just angrily eat the rest of whatever it is they have.
Anghel watches for, symptoms.
Yeah.
Nikephoros utters something under his breath. Feel free to give me Kephoros to ascertain what he said. But Anghel, also feel free to give me a careful to determine if Muninn is, doing well.
So I give you 2?
Yeah, please, because there's different things.
Okay.
Muninn looks a little pale.
Oh.
Muninn looks a little pale.
With a careful of 1.
Okay.
Muninn, also feel free to roll a careful to hear what Nikephoros said. But if you Muninn does not hear. Anghel and Miroslav do hear Nikephoros say, well, I guess the 2 of them will do just fine.
I guess the 2 of them will do just fine.
Oh my god.
Sort of chuckling to himself.
I'm dead.
No, you don't hear it.
You don't hear it.
I'm dead.
They're dead. They're.
Oh no. Okay.
What does that mean? Because what does
Feel
the
free to
2
give
of
me-
them mean?
Feel free to give me a clever, I guess, but both Miroslav and Anghel. But it'll be a difficult roll. It'll be a difficult roll.
Wait, that was 4.
Anghel, you're thinking, oh crap! No, he's not. He's not planning on poisoning Muninn. He's planning on stabbing him.
Oh my god.
Miroslav, you're thinking. It's a bit of a odd way to describe it, but it was in the context of Muninn taking a very, very large bite of something, and your thinking turns to a dirty joke.
So yeah, Miroslav would do the, when you try to hold back a laugh, but you're like.
Anghel looks at him like, "Are you crazy? People are going to die."
Yeah.
Ophelia says to Anghel, "Are you alright?" Noticing your very panicked expressions.
Anghel, I guess, turns to stare at her like you tell me. I don't know.
She looks not baffled, because baffled is too strong a word, and not bemused, because bemused is too light of a word. Mildly concerned.
Perplexed?
Perplexed. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Perplexed and concerned. As she says, do you need a minute? Are you well?
I'm not very hungry. Yes.
But always thirsty translates. The prince is not very hungry, but he is thirsty. We are thirsty. Right.
Can I break?
Good.
Can I break the tension by asking Zamfir, how long have you owned this estate?
Oh, well, it was my father's. So when he passed away 12 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. But
it's the way of things. I was lucky enough to be the only child, so didn't have to split the inheritance. And I've just been purchasing vineyard after vineyard since then, and now I'm the palace purveyor.
Very nice. Do you make? Oh no, he said that earlier. I was gonna say, do you make a lot of coin with the vineyards? But you said that earlier, so. Very nice. Well, I would say I'm very excited to try your wine, but Muninn is a bit nervous, so I don't think they would say that. I'm curious as to No, I don't know. I don't know what to say next.
And
I'm curious.
Go ahead. Go
Is
ahead.
the sorry.
I'm curious as to what you have in store for us tonight. I think Muninn would say, because that could mean anything.
Is there something in store for us tonight? Like,
Just the meal in general, but also what the fuck's gonna happen? Because I feel
I mean,
like
yeah, no, I get that, but like, okay.
Zamfir's eyes visibly light up when you ask and say, "Well, of course I've got plenty of wine from my stocks, but well, I've saved up for the occasion. It's it's very rare that I get the two scions of the Zarhos family, well, the biggest ones, I guess, as guests. Plus, your honored selves, watcher person. He misremembered the term Oracle above board, and looks at the other two, pauses, and I have secured the finest. Trying to think of a very fancy meat. That would be rare and super bougie. Yeah, but what type of game? Oh, he smiles and says, "Have any of you eaten bear?" And winks.
Is that supposed to be good? Okay.
It's supposed to be extremely rare, is the thing.
Okay.
Killed many bears, I feel, but never eaten.
Plus, I have the finest fruits from the nearby farms, of course. But I also have a very good friend who was able to move during wartime and brought a shipment of oranges from the Emperor's City. He looks childishly excited. And again, oranges are very uncommon. The first time in your life,
Yeah.
You had them at Miro's estate, if you remember.
Yeah, I did. I did remember. Because Ashen got excited about it. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, for Illona specifically, they reminded her of home. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Muninn would.
not just that. It's a very exotic fruit from down south, or further down south than the Emperor City even. I call it the big hairy nut. Ophelia cannot suppress laughter. Nicephorus says, "Pineapple, Zamfir, pineapple." That.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Pineapple's hairy. Okay.
The greenery on top,
Okay.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Miroslav will chuckle a few times.
I think Anghel's stomach rumbles a few times.
I hear. Please indulge yourself. He says directly to Anghel.
Anghel swallows his spit, and he has a lot of it.
And now you hear a loud voice say, I'm coming, as you recognize the voice of Basil, who looks very, very irate.
Okay.
He storms into the room and sits at sort of the place that you sort of see on the map, and sort of sieves silently. Feel free to give me a careful to see if you notice something.
A 2.
Not quite enough. Not quite enough.
Gee.
It would not involve eyesight, so sorry, Muninn. Deli,
Yeah.
He says, "Manners, boy, manners. This is an important day for you. I will not have you disgrace yourself." I'm sorry, father, he says, but he still seems unsettled.
Bit strange.
Ophelia asks, Are you well, cousin?" we haven't seen each other in a while. It's a momentous occasion. Well, yes, fine, good, right. I don't want to do this, Father. It's not up to you to decide, says, squeezing Basil's arm a bit too tightly.
You're just talking about this without... Okay.
Do what? Asks Ophelia. Go ahead, Dely.
No, I was going to say do what too.
You're not allowed to voice that.
Oh.
Because you're not allowed to like express confusion and such.
Oh, of course. Yeah, sorry.
Nicephorus says, well, I was hoping that we would have an opportunity to be a bit more in our cups first before properly making the offer. Yeah, then he side-eyes Basil and says, well, at least it seems one of us has been a bit in our cups lately. As above board, the careful roll that you guys missed was detecting the smell of alcohol on Basil.
With Munin's smell there, we would notice that?
That's why the difficulty was higher.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
And Nicephorus inhales and exhales deeply as if mentally preparing himself for something, and turns to you, Muninn, and says, "Dear Oracle, you've been an invaluable guide in the past, well, since we've known each other, and even though our interactions have not been the best, I would wish that our ties would be strengthened. Would you be interested in wedding my son?" And this is above board the thing that you're supposed to say no to. But do it publicly.
I see.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
Anghel was thinking about stabbing.
There might be some stabbing involved, I guess. Anyway.
Sheesh.
Nicephorus continues like detecting your hesitation and surprise. I know this is sudden, but I genuinely believe that an alliance between the Oracle of Acacius and, well, his most ardent supporter among the nobility can only help legitimize our cause.
Wait, sorry. Is he asking to marry me?
He is asking you to marry Basil.
Right, yeah, that's what I meant. I thought...
Basil refuses to look anyone in the eye.
Yeah.
Also, Miroslav, you can see the realization that the dirty joke he read into what was said might have actually been what was meant. And it's like, oh.
Oh, my life. Well, because I thought you meant like, oh, because you get a priest to wed people. I thought like
I see what you thought.
Yeah, Muninn would be a priest or something. But no, okay.
I told you it's not the thing you were expecting.
No, definitely not. Okay.
All the attitude from Basil.
Yeah. Going through all of the stages of grief in their head very quickly. No offense, Basil, obviously. I think Muninn would clear their throat as politely as they can, say, while I appreciate the offer, I would very politely have to they wouldn't. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't be like starring like this. It's just because I don't know how to say no politely to this.
Cassius wants you to think of arguments, basically.
Yeah, like a good reason.
Yeah.
Could I line
like a reason that's not just a straight up no, because this might like jeopardize the actual alliance, so to say.
It doesn't.
Okay.
That is not like Basil's ugly, or something.
Yeah. While Basil is a very brilliant man, I am
Handsome
unfortunately
says
that too.
Nicephorus.
I unfortunately would have to decline. I am, as Oracle of Cassius, my duty is to be wed to him, so to speak, not in a literal fashion, but in a metaphorical one. By what I mean, like you know how Catholic priests are like wed to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what Muninn's trying to get across. It's like one of those things.
Says I've done a bit of research. The ancient priests of your cult were perfectly capable of being married, dear Muninn. And again, it would help cement our alliance. It would show that the faith that you champion and the faith that I belong to, as the highest representative of nobility that belongs to it, well, what's a stronger alliance could there be? I suppose you could wed me, but I am already taken, unfortunately.
I once again would appreciate the offer, but I would have to decline. Yeah.
Muninn's eyes glow.
So they would say, like I said, I appreciate the offer. However, due to the nature of my allegiance with Cassius, it's not an average oracle sort of position. The wording is terrible, but anyway. Yeah, so my allegiance with Cassius is runs deeper than what is traditionally involved. So
just a priest.
Yeah. So again, while I am flattered, I am personally not the right person to be asking this. Like kind of deflecting a little bit.
Then perhaps, do you have, say, a sister or brother? Anyone that maybe would be interested? Surely you can see the value in this alliance, even if it is not as direct as I would hope.
I do appreciate it. However, I unfortunately am an only child. And actually, Muninn would say that. Muninn would just say, unfortunately, I am an only child.
A pity.
Yeah.
Though perhaps... Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
The night is young. Perhaps when we are deeper in our cups, it will be something that is worth revisiting. I assure you, you would not be making a wrong choice of my good son.
Well, I appreciate the offer. Like I said, it's not. You don't offer to be wed so hastily, or at least typically you don't. Which says a lot about, which is kind of like a comment on like, because obviously this was a very hasty like, hey, you want to do this? So the fact that he's done that is like interesting. Do you know what I mean?
It's not. It's not uncommon, so to say, but obviously,
Yeah.
marriage is not necessarily done for love. I think you can infer as much. But I will say that even in like more arranged marriages, often the terms would be discussed first. Though he was just sort of proposing the idea at the moment.
Okay. That makes sense.
You see Ophelia whispers something to Zamfir. And Zamfir like reacts, oh yes, of course. Good point. And he says, he claps his hands and yells out, "Wine, now!"
Thank God.
Ophelia says, as subtle as ever.
Something to break the tension. I'm would say to Basil like, I'm sure you'll meet the right person one day.
I guess I'll roll Basil's ability to restrain himself.
Poor Basil, honestly.
I mean, understandably, he does not want to marry Muninn.
Yeah.
With a 4, he does and says, "I appreciate the sympathy."
Yeah.
Refuses to look you in the eye.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
You can clearly tell that he's not feeling the bitter sting of rejection.
Yeah. I bet he's well relieved. Okay.
Relieved mixed with worried.
Yeah. As to what is gonna come next, I imagine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Also, not for Miroslav, because Miroslav was not present then, but Anghel and Muninn, feel free to give me a careful to see if you remember something.
Yes. Oh, I
Like
would do, but
it relates to your past interactions with Nikephoros and Basil.
Yeah, I was trying to think back to that.
my web browser's just crashed, so I will roll in just a second.
Sure. With a 4, I'll answer Show&Tell's roll first, and then when you return, Deli, I'll answer your future roll. With a 4, you sort of remember Show&Tell, like when you first met Nikephoros, he wasn't even very certain of how many children he had.
Right.
Savage.
So what does that mean?
As in, he probably doesn't care too much for them as individuals.
Right. But Basil has been with him all this time. Okay.
Yeah, hence why he remembers Basil's name.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too bad. Maybe he should, kind of made himself scarce or something.
Careful of 1, not much I can tell you, Muninn.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. As the awkward silence ensues, Zamfir says, "I said wine now! Move it, you idiots!" You shouting really is not so becoming of a member of high-ranking nobility, dear Zamfir, says Ophelia. And Zamfir has this sort of like shocked in a good way expression on his face. Feel free to give me careful's as to, not careful's, clever's rather, as to why that may be.
Okay. Oh,
In a
shit.
good way.
I'm still reeling from the proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miroslav realizes that, this guy is not upper nobility, but being called upper nobility by one of the most important people in the country is like a huge boost of confidence. And
I guess you hear what you want to hear.
Pretty much. And says, right, sorry, right. Composes himself very evidently. Still anxiously looks around for wine, and servants begin bringing it, and he mutters something to himself. Feel free to give me careful, Zamfir, to determine what he said, but otherwise wine begins to be served. Miroslav, you hear him mutter, I'll have them whipped for being late, basically.
Miroslav would maybe not very noticeably for everyone, but if you looked at him, you would see that he kind of what's the twitches at the
Yeah, good one.
like in reaction to the
jolts, yeah. Reacts, yeah.
Yes.
Muninn does not hear. Anghel has not rolled up to Show&Tell
Oh, sorry, what? What were we rolling for?
Careful to hear what Zamfir said under his breath.
Oh, okay. I was still caught up in.
The answer is still no, but Miroslav heard it, so above board the players heard it, I guess. But yeah.
Sorry, so what did he say? I'm sorry.
I'll have the servants whipped for being late.
Oh, whipped. Okay, that was it. Okay, I heard that. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, wine is brought. Basil begins downing his cup pretty much immediately. But yeah, wine is brought, and Zamfir says, "This is last year's vintage, local. I thought we ought to start with something a bit more familiar before we go to the fancy stuff." Well, of course, if we want to bring the fancy stuff early, that's perfectly acceptable. As members of upper, quite. You've made your point, says Ophelia.
Yeah.
Cheers, she says.
Muninn would cheers.
Miroslav would cheers as well.
Anghel would go through the motions.
Ophelia says, "To the bright future of our country."
To the bright future.
Yeah. It's a bright future.
Nicephorus acquiesces. Basil's already drinking and hastily nods.
Can I sniff my cup before I drink?
You be careful.
Yes. Ooh, 6.
Are you wondering if it's poisoned?
Yes.
It is not.
Okay, good. Then I would drink all of it in one go.
The NPCs also drink.
Yeah, Miroslav would take his time with drinking. Just
always
enjoying, since it's good wine.
Yeah. Always firstly eagerly reaches for it, then pauses, looks at Anghel with the most puppy dog eyes you've ever seen from him.
Oh.
You see tears begin to well.
Anghel just shrugs. You can drink if you want to.
He eagerly downs it in one gulp. Good stuff. Good stuff. Go ahead, my princess. It's perfectly good stuff. Eyes your cup.
Yeah.
Eyes you.
I'll wait.
Eyes your cup.
Can I
Sweats.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Anghel gives him the cup.
Downs it in one gulp, and Zamfir chuckles and says, "We have plenty more. You don't need to worry, my good EU. Yes, more now." And servants hurry to refill your cups. This time, always firstly does not reach for yours, because you deserve to have a drink too, as a prince and all that. So, Ophelia says, "Your prince," he called you?
Are you asking Anghel?
Didn't we already cover this?
Not in front of these people.
Oh,
Okay, I don't remember how the last conversation went. I just remember that she asked about it. I mean, right? Because Ophelia asked about it.
Ophelia
already.
did, yeah.
yeah, she did.
And then what? I don't remember what happened there.
Let me actually no, ignore me.
So okay, Anghel shrugs, I guess. Make of that what you will.
Is is that some kind of out of place joke? Asked Nikevoros. It's quite treasonous one to make.
I want to help you out, but I don't know how. I don't know how to help you out.
Like yeah, I should really I should really tell Always Thirsty not to call him that. Yeah, a joke. Does Always Thirsty translate that?
He's mid gulp. Sorry. A joke, yes.
Okay.
What can I say? Like something like one that does not imply anything against the prince of this land. Like, can I say something like that? Because obviously that's what they're worried about, isn't it?
That what? That Anghel is an actual prince?
Yeah, I think
No,
so.
that it's a joke against the prince of this land.
Yeah.
I go ahead, Deli. I guess Cassius will stop you if you say something wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I just mean like implying that. So if Anghel says he's a prince, that could be treasonous, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like
Right.
basically Muninn saying like, oh, you know, in layman's terms, Muninn saying, oh, this isn't treason against the current prince. But I don't know if like.
Oh, I was more thinking that I don't know. I didn't take them to really care about the prince. I think they more maybe wonder if Anghel has an actual claim or something.
Right.
I don't know.
I
don't know if that's what they are after, actually.
I see what you mean. It's just because the guy was like, oh, that's quite a treacherous joke, isn't it? Or treasonous joke.
Oh, he said that.
Yeah, he said that.
He did say that.
I heard joke. I didn't hear the treasonous part.
Yeah. So to try and help you out, Muninn would be like nothing that is nothing that could be considered treason. Like Muninn would say something like that.
Yeah.
Nikefor says, "Well, too bad, because I think my dumb nephew of a prince has gone too far this time."
Ooh.
Uncle, says Ophelia. Baz also looks surprised. Impaling hundreds of prisoners of war out for everyone to see. He is. Do you know that he has switched brides just a few weeks ago?
Switched brides. Wow.
To put it bluntly, I found a very lucrative opportunity with a powerful family in the Emperor's City, and how just out of thin air he decides no, he's going to wed the princess of Mansizag. When did he even have the time to? This must have been a conspiracy years in the making to undermine me specifically.
I want to ask follow-up questions, but obviously I don't want to come across as not knowing.
If you feel free to ask either Nikevoros or ask me, the DM, or slash and/or Cassius.
Yeah.
Miroslav will be eating some fruit, but he will also be listening to this conversation relatively intently. especially at the mention of Mansisak.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
about-
Do we know why? Okay.
You do not know why.
It's where he's from.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
then I will be free to explain, so to say, that he said Princess of Mansizag, likely not the part that you're from, because there's two countries name with that name. They are basically competing with each other.
Okay, interesting.
You know,
I get-
you might have seen her in the markets as Nicephorus sort of blavering on. You know, he hired a very expensive Vitelli painter. I paid for her, mind you. And when he switched brides, he just chased her away. Further humiliation against me, I'm sure. You can find her drinking away her sorrows in the markets if you've seen her.
These markets, like,
I don't remember which one of. I think it was all of you. If you ever give me careful to reference your memories.
yes. Sugar. 1 sec. There we are. 7.
Miroslav, for you it rings a bell. Anghel, you do remember a fancy-looking foreign woman looking dejected in the markets. And Muninn, you remember?
Aye.
Oh yeah, and yeah, her clothes looked Vitelli, and I think she was carrying painting supplies, even though you're pretty far away from her. You saw that, yeah.
Muninn would probably say I remember seeing, or should I not say that actually?
You're allowed to if that's what you're asking.
Okay. I guess Muninn would idly small talk, say, I do remember seeing that woman. Although at the time, obviously, I didn't realize. Oh, actually, Muninn wouldn't say that because that's like. So not knowing. So Muninn would say, "Oh, I do remember seeing that woman. Funny enough, she had paint supplies on her. I don't suppose she herself is an artist of any kind.
What did you say?
Like that's kind. I said I don't suppose she's like an artist of any kind, like as in a question. Because I remember.
Well,
Like,
Nicephorus said that she's a famous Vitelli painter.
I definitely misheard you. I thought you meant that she was getting herself painted or something.
No, Nicephorus hired her to paint basically the prince and his old bride. And then when the prince changed brides, he shooed her away, even though the painter woman is super famous.
I have one brain cell.
Why did he not just ask her to paint them again? Whatever.
Shrug.
Interesting though.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend. I have a theory, but I don't.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. It just sounds like kind of a whim, like kind of like. I don't know.
Feel free to opine that if you want. But in character, Ophelia will say, I've never heard you be so candid, uncle. Not in these matters, at least. Well, he's openly defiant of me, niece, as you already know. Ophelia winces a bit, and he continues. I'm headed to St. Paris for the wedding, of course. It's probably too late to renew the old arrangement, but perhaps I can bring my stupid nephew back into his place.
Well, I feel like does sorry if I'm repeating things or if I shouldn't say this, but Muninn would say like, well, funny enough, we are, and stop me if please feel free to someone stop me, please. Muninn would say we're on. Well, I mean, as you know, we are on our way to see him too. So if you do have a word with him, please make sure it ends on a light note, like Muninn would like.
Oh, I fully intend to invite your group along if you are willing.
Yeah.
Of course, I think it goes without saying that our original plan of bringing the orb before the prince and the country, we'll leave that out. The orb, asks Ophelia. Zamfir is just looking around like, what's going on?
Muninn would disregard Ophelia to try and change the subject and say, we will discuss what's best when we are closer to the prince, I suppose, or the wedding, should I say? Trying to mask the fact that he said the orb. You know,
Nikiforos instead will sort of not backfire, whatever. I will counter argue and say, on the contrary, I think it's best to discuss everything now, but in case, well, so that we know what our plan is going forward. And above board, especially since it's heading a bit late, and if you guys would like some extra time to think, would you like to cap off this today's session here?
I'd be fine with it.
yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Because, it's a good opportunity to, give you guys time to think about said plan. Of course, we'll discuss it with the NPCs next session and all that. Maybe you'll agree on it, maybe not. But also, we're approaching time. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Thoughts on today's session, everyone?
Really
It
good.
was fun.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
always. Really good to be back.
Yeah.
As always. I
Was
feel
a very
like
unexpected marriage proposal.
yeah. That was very surprising. I said, I didn't even realize that's what you. I didn't even realize it was a proposal. I was like, oh, they want me to be a priest? Sure, that doesn't sound so bad. I mean, I do like Basil as a character, but not that much.
I can assure you that the feeling is very much mutual from him.
Bless him. I'm interested about the painter. And
Do
where
you
she
think it's
fits
that
in.
important? I mean, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like it just seems a bit odd.
Yeah, it could be, but I also feel like this prince is very
Capricious.
acts on a whim. Yeah, capricious, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see it being some kind of reasoning of oh, you painted us, and I changed my mind, so I don't want you anymore, kind of thing. I don't want
Yeah.
anything to remind me that I made a mistake or whatever, or changed my mind, or I don't know what.
That's true.
But maybe there's more to it. I mean, she is a character here, so.
Yeah, I did
Definitely
think that
could be.
initially. I think I thought that initially, where it's oh yeah, you're bringing back bad memories or whatever.
Yeah.
Not really a good comparison, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You know the thing of you get in the ye olden times, you get a guy to make you something, and then you cut off his hand so he can't make it anything that good again.
Yeah.
Kind of like that almost, but obviously not quite the same thing.
Yeah, but he just dismissed her. He didn't kill her or anything. And also, I mean, it's
that's
kind of.
that's not a very historical thing that happened, but sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
I mean, if think of it from the position of the artisan, would you want to be if the reward for being recognized as a valuable artist would be mutilation, would you want to go through with it? Who would want to be an artist anymore?
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't like a known thing, but it like happened maybe
I'm
like
sure there were like some very
unexpectedly.
capricious
Yeah.
tyrants who maybe did something like that,
Yeah.
but it's not something common at all.
I think
Yeah.
that only. Sorry, I know this is a massive tangent. I think the only time that I can think where it's kind of known to have happened, maybe, and I don't even know if it's historically accurate. But you know is it the brazen bull, or whatever it's called, the bronze bull, like where the guy like. If you don't know it, then I'm not going to go into it. But the guy who made that was like, it's like a torturing machine, and he was the first victim to it or something. And I don't even know if it's historically accurate
It
or not.
is historically accurate, but that was more of an exceptional case.
Yeah, exactly.
There are more examples of it happening for the opposite reason. Like there's very common.
Did a bad job.
Yeah, but on the sort of lower level of not a painter. Basically, there were, just as an example, there were often cases regarding in a certain city where if you were a baker and you overcharged for bread, for the bread you made, the punishment would be, well, we'll throw you in your oven.
Oh, holy
Wow.
moly. That's pretty crazy.
Shortchanging was a very serious crime.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, no, that's pretty. Like, I don't know. Maybe maybe we'll see her again. The painter, I mean. Maybe not. Just to bring it back to that.
And regarding the previous point of the marriage thing, now I imagine you understand why Basil was apprehensively curious about you.
Yeah. He's looking at me like, maybe I can make this work, and then he gets one whiff. He's like, okay, no.
I can assure you that almost everything that you have voiced since meeting him again has been to his disliking.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Poor
But,
dude. Oh god.
Yeah, but no, I had fun. I'm looking through my notes to see if there was anything else that was like crazy, by the way.
I had fun acting Anghel as super paranoid.
Yeah.
well, we're not done yet, so I do look forward as to the continuation of that.
Yeah.
I'm sort of curious on that note, Show&Tell. How much of it is the compel, and how much of it is, do you think, like your genuine interpretation of Angel's character? As in, Anghel would act like that even if it weren't for the compel, let's say.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have I mean the compel, like just the compel makes a lot of sense to me. Like I'd like to say that without the compel I would kind of do the same thing, or to some degree, you know, but I don't know if I would have thought about it that deeply, you know. But it makes sense.
Fair. What were you going to say? Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll shut up.
I think that at least now that the marriage proposal happens for Miroslav, it's like, okay, I don't think they want to poison us, because that would kind of be against what they are going for. So,
But is
yeah.
Izvir part of the whole? Well, I guess he was. Yeah, he was in on it.
I think Zamfir is too much of a nervous wreck to do anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, because of Muninn's failed clever, if something negative happens, Muninn's first suspect will be Zamfir.
Yeah, but Miroslav is just okay. Probably not.
Yeah, Miroslav is
not
probably
gonna
thinking
kill
about
us.
it most logically, right?
Yeah.
as much as possible. Angel's just like heard that name, heard poisoning, doesn't need more than that.
Fair. I'm maybe it's the sample size isn't like big enough to actually ask the question, so feel free to ignore it. But I'm curious from Show&Tell and Deli, because you guys have met Nikephoros before, as to your, like, more so from in character, I guess, perspectives, like Angel's and Munin's, of the fellow, of this guy.
Of
Nikephoros.
yeah. Oh, of Nikephoros.
Feel free to not answer the question if you don't want to, because the sample size of like available data, so to say, is a bit small still. But
And we don't remember a lot. I mean, I'm talking for myself though. I guess from the first meeting, he just comes across as like very. I mean, he had syphilis for a reason.
yes, he did.
And just very, just I don't know what the word is, but just indulging himself at the expense of anyone around him.
Yeah, like selfish. Yeah, it just seems really. I don't know if you can agree, people in general, but I keep getting really mixed feelings about him being on our side now for now, because I remember him being the enemy. So now that he's not, I keep getting, I don't know if that's what you're asking, but I keep getting really mixed feelings, because I'm like, oh, but I don't like this guy.
Yeah, he's very untrustworthy. Like it's only because of whatever Akesius, I don't know, whatever power he gets from Akesius, and we don't trust Akesius, so like there's nothing to trust in the whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's on our side again. It's the for now bit. It's like he's on our side for now, but I feel like he wouldn't be if I wasn't the Oracle. Oh, sorry, if Muninn wasn't the Oracle.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a bit of a weird situation. I think it's a ticking time bomb when it comes to when he's gonna be, like, something will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Fair.
If that answers your question anyway.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
My next question, I guess unrelated or maybe related, who knows? Wink, wink. Is about the whole George's thing.
Wait.
Everyone, of course, asking that. Yeah.
Wait, what was the question? Sorry. How do we think about the Georges thing?
You're aware again that he's the former prince, and he was supposed to have died in a hunting accident.
But it probably wasn't the case. Well, that's not very surprising. That there are intrigues.
I'm wondering. Sorry, you go. I feel like it. Okay.
Go ahead.
What I'm thinking, obviously he must have been murdered to. It's almost like completely obvious that he was murdered to let the current prince be the prince or whatever.
Probably.
In the same way that like Poroshka was a cannibal. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's got to be the case. I'm wondering if the prince knew about that, or if, like, or arranged that or anything, or if that's like unbeknownst to the prince. It's like, oh, the prince is like, oh no, I am actually the prince because he died in the hunting accident.
That would affect how much we can blackmail the prince himself. If he doesn't know, then we can't really blackmail him.
Yeah.
I guess we can, though. I guess we can. But then he will have to be like, what?
It would depend on...
Find out about it.
Yeah. It would depend on if he would believe us. If he didn't know about it, and we were like, we're going to blackmail you, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I genuinely don't know what you're talking about. And then it would be a case of like, well, we need to convince this guy that I don't know. Maybe that's a whole rabbit hole of like something that we may never
I mean,
encounter.
I don't get the feeling that this is the kind of guy who would really be that naive, like not
Right. Yeah.
because he's so cruel and everything that it just. I think he would, even if he doesn't know about it, he would probably could guess.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, I think I agree. I don't think it's likely that he either didn't orchestrate it or doesn't know. But I just thought it was an interesting thought. Sorry, what were you going to say?
And also, even if he were unaware, you can still blackmail someone for something they don't know. It's just called extortion instead.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the difference. I didn't know what the difference was.
More or less, I guess. I don't have the dictionary in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but like we need him to buy into it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the threat of what revealing that information might mean.
Just even if it's a lie, doesn't matter if we reveal it.
Yeah, which we don't think it is. I could get him to believe it with a stunt. But until that happens,
maybe we probably won't need to. Let's just we'll use your stunt for something else.
Yeah,
something more to lie to him about.
I am like, what am I gonna say? Sorry, brain fart. I'm hoping that it's not necessary. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Izvir, do you have any thoughts? In general, not just to this question.
Oh.
Put on the spot.
Yeah, I'm the sadistic teacher who knows the one student who hasn't done their homework or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think the prince probably knows about it, and if Piroshka thought of using the knowledge as a like leverage, then probably should work to use that against the prince. And
I mean, honestly, that's a really big deal. It's a really big thing that we have there.
I guess I think you can assume that the person whom the letter was, like the destination person, I'm fucking up on the term. It's probably thank you, Show&Tell. It's probably not the prince, because the letter is talking about a coup against the prince.
Right. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, but it's someone who was involved somehow. Mm-hmm. Maybe in the previous coup, I guess. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess we will see.
They're just trying to, like, they're switching princes. Like sauce.
I think I mentioned this before, but with a few exceptions, most princes in this country don't rule for very long, a few years at most.
Yeah.
With some exceptions.
Yeah, it's just funny that it's the same people who try to, like, they're like replacing one and they're like, oh, that's not good. Let's do it again. Like, it's not like different people.
I guess one thing that will sort of, to like emphasize the gravity of the implication that the current prince was involved in a former prince's death. Usually when a prince is replaced, it's not because of death or assassination. It's because, all right, the empire decides that they want you elsewhere, or you're not doing a good enough job. We'll send someone else.
They fire him.
Pretty much.
I see.
In a more dramatic fashion, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
There's something. Go ahead.
I'm excited to see how the conversation about the orb will go on next time.
Yes.
Yeah. And also the basement. We should
Oh
probably
yeah,
go
the basement is also a thing. And what other stuff comes up as more wine gets drunk?
You know, the Latin saying in vino veritas and all that.
Yeah,
In wine there is truth. TLDR.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we'll see in the future.
yeah.
And I when I just remember when I told Deli, like when Deli asked, "Oh, is it okay to eat this apple? Like, am I gonna die if I eat this apple?" And Akesa said, "Not unless you choke on it." I didn't realize that Deli would take it as a suggestion.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Oh my god.
Did you oh actually no, don't worry. Never mind. But so when they were like, oh, two will do, they were laughing at how I was trying to choke myself with an apple. Was that what happened? Was that what was happening?
I think it was about the amount you can fit in your mouth.
Because you took a very large bite. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But they said these two, no? Was it about this?
So probably Muninn and Basil.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
I get it.
Wow.
I didn't before. So Basil's hung. That's what that means. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or at least Nikephoros thinks he is, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's better than Angel's line of thinking of, oh yeah, Nikephoros is planning on stabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Oh my god.
I mean, at the dinner table, I don't know what's preferable.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One final on the like inner 13-year-old thing. I am amused by you, Deli, skipping the particularly graphic line in the letter. I don't necessarily blame you for it. Maybe we'll reveal it to Izvir and Show&Tell, but probably not to the viewers. I might get the video demonetized.
Yeah.
I'm curious now.
After I hit stop recording. Okay. On that note, any other thoughts before we go to our usual shoutouts?
No.
Not I know of.
Just fun. It was fun to get back.
Yeah.
It
was. I think it was a good session to have to come back.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I have been more looking forward to a chill is not the right word, but I guess I'll use it. A more chill session where you guys get the opportunity to talk and plan things out and all that. Either way, as usual, dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening to us. Let's see what these lovely people are up to. I've rolled some dice to see the order in which I asked these people to talk about themselves. Dice have determined that Deli ought to go first. So Deli, please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing.
Of course. Hello everyone, I'm Deli. I am sorry for the delay. It's because I am a mushroom VTuber on Twitch.tv. I've not streamed in a very long time because I'm studying at the moment, and it's taking up a lot of my time. But you can find my links on screen on my CAD. I do have a Discord server and a Blue Sky that I occasionally use, but like I said, I'm not very active at the moment. Hopefully that will change in the future, but we will see.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you very, very much, Deli. Then, according to the dice, we would have Show&Tell. Show&Tell, could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing?
Yes, so I'm Show&Tell, and I have reaction channels, 3 of them at the moment on YouTube. and also a Patreon. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm, exploring different shows and different genres. And also I'm thinking about starting manga read-alongs or something like that. We'll see how it works. But yeah, it's exciting.
Exciting. Indeed.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Show&Tell. And then we would, of course, have Izvir. Izvir, could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
I'm Izvir, or is virtually a goblin. I am a goblin doll VTuber on Twitch. I mostly do art streams, however, I also play games, sometimes with friends, sometimes alone. I have started Cryptmaster lately. And I also do commissions that you can find on my Ko-Fi. And yeah.
Awesome. Indeed, thank you very, very much, Izvir. As for me, dear viewers, I was your Dungeon Master, Game Master Teeironor. I do this series, which is quite a lot of fun. I also do another series set in the Warcraft universe. I don't entirely know if we will have a new episode of that series next week, because it depends entirely on if Roll20 decides to not be buggy and cooperate. Because the other campaign at the moment is in a place where it definitely needs stuff to happen on screen, unlike this particular episode of this campaign, which was a bit more lenient. Yeah, I guess it's in Roll20's hands if we'll have an episode of the other campaign. I'll let you all know on Blue Sky, and I don't really even use much of Twitter anymore, but yeah, mainly on Blue Sky if we will or not. Anyway, other than that...
Oh. Good news. It seems that Roll20 is back to normal. I just reloaded and I can see all the tokens and stuff.
Oh, no, I can't. Right.
I'll have to...
I can see the map, but I can't.
I'll have to check it in greater detail after I hit stop recording. But yeah, thank you for the tip, Izvir. But yeah.
There are 2 Anghels. There are 3 Anghels.
Yeah, a few Anghels, yeah.
Because I was frantically placing tokens to see what worked. Anyway. Thank you once again, dear viewers, for watching and listening to us. We should be back next week, but if we won't be for whatever reason, I'll let you all know on Blue Sky. And yeah, we'll see you when we'll see you. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.